We're unmuted now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's Chicago by Night game with these wonderful people. We have 2 out of 3 of our cast. For now, our third Tremere member will be joining us shortly. We'll take a break when they arrive. So, for now, forgive us, it's very hot where we live as well. So, it might be a little bit melty, but that's all right. Let's introduce this wonderful, wonderful non-coterie, starting with V.
Hey, I'm Phoebe. I play V, the not coteries Banner Huckium.
And I'm Beck, and I'll be playing Irene, the Sombra of this lovely group. I say group now.
Yeah, group. That's a good
Group's
word.
a better word, yeah. Might just use that. And I'm Ethan, the storyteller of this wonderful group, and this story of Chicago by Night, which we are slowly wrapping up as we go. Tonight, we're in for a fight, but let's have the recap. So, as per usual, if I miss anything or you think there's anything worthwhile mentioning, just jump in and interrupt me. So, our kindred began the night by organizing some meetings between their ghouls and with other kindred, before leaving out to meet with Hurricane at the Steel Horse Lounge. There, when they arrived, Hurricane discussed their plans of attack on Black Site 24 before he told them that he was given a heads up on a construction site by a basketball court on the south side where something strange was going on. On their way out, the group of kindred passed by one Sergeant Duncan McTavish, a gangrel who the group has bothered, let's say, in the past, who growled and bumped up against Irene before sitting down with Hurricane, the two shaking hands. Afterward, they went to visit Joseph's sire, Erictho, on their path to recovery after being attacked. After some time reuniting with Erictho, Joseph requested that they begin the process of reversing Irene's curse, and through a delicate but painful operation, it was done. With newfound freedom and strength of each of our kindred, they made their way to find one of their past allies, Arachne Silverlock, a gangrel shapeshifter they saved from a previous Inquisition base. Arachne was found at a fast food restaurant with her new childer, Jane. They had a brief discussion before Arachne decided to join them in whatever was happening at this construction site. They traveled there together and found what seemed to be the aftermath of some kind of test or battle. A variety of Second Inquisition members were moving bags of meat and strange substances to a shipping container from plastic tents. After some close investigation, V sneaked her way to the top of the construction tower and killed a dangerous sniper before taking the rifle and using explosive ammunition to signal a fight. Irene leapt into the fray and brought shadows around her and Nosferatu, who had a strange contraption around their head. The two clashed, and Irene tore the mask from their face while she was thrown into the construction tower's upper floor by the potence this Nosferatu wielded. Now, just before the bullets rain down upon these kindred is where we find ourselves. So, currently, we see, for everybody who hasn't had the description before, I'm going to redo it for everybody. We are currently in a zone with 12-foot tall concrete walls around every side and a single gate where there's a security guard at the front. This area is exposed by quite a few floodlights and such, and people move back and forth. Some of them in these yellow radiation suits with these little, there's garbage. There's things they use to pick up garbage from a distance, these little hooked hands, and big plastic bags that have these sort of strange meat and viscous substances within them. And as they're making their way through, there's this Nosferatu in a pit down below that seems to turn and move and shift with this metal contraption almost clamped upon their head with red and yellow wires moving down underneath this black cloak that they wear. Seems they're trying to move and get out of this pit, but every time they do, their head turns and they spin around as if controlled or directed in certain ways. There is a brief pause in the air. A silence casts around the area. This construction tower just connected to this basketball court and this big pit just off to the side is about 12 stories tall, I would say. And at the very top is a elite unit, someone in black body armor and armored guards on the elbows and knees and such, who has been keeping very still. But as they take in this pause, take a slow breath to slow their heart rate down still further, is when the knife cuts along the side of their neck and they die instantly. Their heart stops, their brain ceases to function, they collapse back. V catches the sniper rifle, keeps it up in this brick forded area in front of her, and this little section in the middle where the sniper rifle can peek out and observe with this red dot light. There's the bang, even as this sniper rifle has big silencer on the front, and as you pull the trigger, it glows red hot and steam starts to come out of it with the power of this gun. And the bullet flies down at V's target. One of the men speaking to another, he has a clipboard and a pen. Who knows what he's discussing about when that bullet hits him? It bursts in a short burst of flame and completely eviscerates them in front of the other man. And this crack of the gun, even silenced, is still echoes across this area. People begin arming themselves, preparing, but that is when Irene leaps into the fray, shadows covering their approach, and then enveloping the center. This Nosferatu with this metal clamp and Irene clash. Irene grabs, digging her fingers straight into the metal and bending it, just as the Nosferatu flips Irene over their shoulder and tosses her up to the second story of this building. But Irene holds on and takes that metal with her with this. Nobody can hear the sound of the screeching metal and the hissing of steam and such as it comes with her. Irene, you slam through the part of the bricks here, knocking it over, rolling down, not taking too much damage. And not taking too much damage. And
US?
as you begin to stand up, is when you notice that there are people, they prepared their small sort of submachine guns and are starting to point them up at you, and bullets begin to rain up towards you. Luckily, these are thick bricks, and because of this particular like sniper's hole, they can't see where you are. They can only assume that while that gun is there, that you are there. So we'll begin with V in this current scenario. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna try and shoot again, I guess.
Okay.
Whoever looks like the best at shooting at me.
I believe we did a composure firearms with a -2 because it was a powerful weapon.
Yeah. Which means I'm gonna rouse so I have enough to do stuff.
It's unlike anything you've ever seen or used before. At the same time, Irene, what would you like to do?
Who can I see from where I am?
So, as you want to stand up and sort of make your way over. Yeah, you make your way over and part some of the plastic wrapping that you sort of fell through earlier. You can see just directly below you, there are two people in this sort of hazmat suit, radiation suit, beginning to panic. Like, they don't know what's going on. They're sort of turning towards each other, thinking something is happening. They look down, they look up. Why are we shooting at each other? Nobody's given any commands just yet. You're just ahead of anyone getting any semblance of order. Those two are below you. Across from you, where all these tents are, these plastic tents, you can see about 5 figures that are crouched behind in that black uniform with a darker armor. They've got these submachine guns just down by the side. So you can barely see it's the same color as everything they're wearing. You can see the sort of glowing green from their night vision as well, that is currently flicked up, and they are firing fully on where you know V is. So it's 2 close to you, 5 far away. The rest might be inside the tents, and you can see inside the darkness just off to your right as well in the pit. This Nosferatu is sort of grabbing at their head. Blood is like oozing down very quickly across from them. You know, you did some significant damage to this Nosferatu. They're still alive, but there's no all these little what did I call them earlier? Little tubes and things. Actually, steam is flying out from them, and they're actually sort of moving and hissing around. And they seem blinded and incapacitated. They're sort of just holding hands over their head and occasionally reaching out for something, but they can't find it.
Yeah. Okay. What I think I'm going to do is I see the hazmat suit people who are panicking.
Mhm.
They're not really a big priority. The Nosferatu is dealing with the fact that they're blinded and in the shroud and can't see, and are very hurt. So I think I'm going to do something very. Oh, I'm going to try and do something very horror movie. And where those 5 people with the guns are sort of off to my left, I think you said.
They're sort of, slightly up to the left, but like further away.
Further away.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm going to try and sneak up close to where they are. And I want to use the arms of Ahriman to try and like wrap around one of them and just yank them to where I am.
Mm-hmm. So, you can do this in a variety of ways. You can either you want to go full horror movie and like yank them up, like sort of into the sky, make it a like an example, like a showing, like you want people to see, or you can sort of quickly send a shadow underneath the plastic tent and then pull them through that if you'd like to be more subtle.
Yeah, I think I'd like them to disappear, rather than making a show of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just a wits oblivion check.
Sure.
Now these are trained units, so they will get to resist you. Not that it will do them any good, I don't think.
I'm gonna rouse as well.
Sure. Go right ahead.
Many dice.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend a willpower because I want this to be good.
Horror movie Irene is one of my favorite Irenes.
Like in a room with a lot of plastic wrap. I'm like, this is a horror movie.
How many successes for both of you?
13.
13. I think you beat them by a little bit. How many successes, B?
3.
3. Okay, so they don't have celerity, they're just mortals. Each of them, however, are very highly trained gunmen. So they're very good at shooting. They do suffer a -2 penalty. No, they can't see you, so it's a -4. Because -2 because your cover's really good, -2 because they can't actually see you as well behind that area. So
Cool.
do you have celerity active?
No, I don't think I did.
That's totally fine. A hail of bullets. Only one bullet catches you for like 2 superficial damage, V, as they luck out and every other shot just fires through, completely missing you. Your cover, you probably took the shot and like ducked down and all these bullets just fly through where you once were. Irene, 13 successes. V, suddenly there were a bunch of guns shooting at you. Now there's one less for some reason, for whatever reason. Irene, I imagine you're going to jump down towards one of these tents and then drag them into that tent, or are you going to simply manipulate them from this distance?
It's probably easier to do so from a little bit closer, and then I can be in range of the others as well. So I'll move a little bit closer, just so.
So there are spotted tents throughout. So there's quite a bit of cover to actually make your way through, and there's a lot happening. There's a big shadowy thing off to their left. Straight up, there's a sniper that could shoot them at any moment. So they're quite distracted. So the one with the highest dice pool, the -2, is going to do a perception, and you're going to do wits awareness, and you're going to
Okay.
do a dexterity stealth, or
I'm
I'll
gonna do
also
dexterity
allow
stealth.
a wit stealth to pick where you want to hide as well.
Okay.
See how stealthy you are with all of this.
I have a passive +2. Yeah. Okay.
Your shadow
Yeah.
cloak.
I crit. That's pretty good.
Yay.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, no problem. You
Okay, good.
jump down just off to the left of these two radiation suit people, landing
Mm.
behind one of the pillars of this building, and the sand sort of comes up as you do so, and it softens and cushions the fall, so you make no sound. You know this. You've been in certain fights in the east as well. You know this is sort of your terrain. Actually, you've
Yeah.
seen camps very similar to this setup and fought them before. So moving between tent to tent, pillar to pillar, some of the people start yelling. Some things go over the radio. As you're close to these two, they don't hear anything, and then you move and you go to this next tent and grab and drag one of them where you remember exactly where they were, and drag them closer to you, I imagine. At the same time, you hear that crack ring out into the night. And how many successes was it again, V?
3.
3 successes. Okay. You managed to hit near someone, and the explosion itself causes the dust and the sand sort of to come up, and sort of they cover their eyes. It doesn't kill them, but it does sort of make
That's so
them
good.
get distracted, and it's going to be more difficult for them to shoot you on the next round, which we sort of enter into now. What would you like to do, V, to start with?
Irene seems to be doing okay, so I don't think I need to make any more distractions in that sense. I think I'm gonna try and take the bullets out of the gun, basically. Take the
Sure.
ammo out of this gun and try and leg it so that I can attack with what I'm good at, not
Okay.
this gun.
I'll get. Do you have any points in firearms?
I got 1.
Intelligence and firearms, please.
Oh,
These ones especially are bolted in certain ways that it makes it very
Gonna
difficult to remove, because any misfire could cause the whole thing to explode, including the person firing it.
Yeah.
It's not extremely difficult to figure out if you have any skills in firearms at all.
2 successes. Plus,
successes.
I'm in 4 hunger now.
You sort of, as you get hungrier throughout the process, you know it's a bit risky to sort of leave this thing just lying around as it is. And so you sort of, as you're going to find the lever, fleck it forward and try to pull the ammunition out, your beast sort of growls and roars, and you actually push the sniper rifle down as you're doing so, and you bend the front of it, ruining the gun as you take out this clip, which only has like 3 shots left. It can only hold like 5 at a time. They're so huge. You have this big clip currently.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm
What would
gonna
you-
try and run if I can.
Yeah, where would you like to go?
The opposite direction to where they're shooting at, but
Mhm.
also just actually I might soaring leap down. I think I can do that for free.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Soaring leap down.
How many levels in potence do you have?
2.
2. Okay, so you can get a couple of floors with 1 soaring leap. I would say approximately you'd be about halfway if
That's
you
cool.
aimed
So good.
sort of using the stairs and swinging and flipping yourself using that momentum. So basically what you do is you can run towards the back, soaring leap off, grab one of the staircase railings, and sort of like slink your way underneath and use the momentum to sort of catch you before you fall too much further this round.
Yeah, cool.
It's a very acrobatic, very elegant maneuver, because that's a very small bar, like on the staircase, very small area to fit through, but you managed to swing through quite easily and catch your momentum there. You're actually very close to where Irene originally was. The dust is still settling from that area. And Irene, what would you like to do?
I'm on full hunger, so I'm going to try and
Hey.
feed on this person.
Ooh, okay. Are you
Full
going to
hunger
use
gang.
brutal feed?
Yeah,
Brutal
I'm gonna
feed?
Hell
I'm going
yeah.
to try
Mhm.
my hardest to.
Mhm. So you've dragged them, you haven't grappled them, so that means you'll need to make a strength brawl and grab them against
Cold
their
shot
athletics
for
pool.
blight, because it's a cold shot? Question?
Grappling is not a cold shot.
Okay. saying
Hitting
maybe I
someone's
should buy-
arm, hitting someone's eye, hitting like specific things is a cold
Yeah.
shot.
Gotcha.
Yeah. They get 6 successes.
Okay. Rounds. Why not? Can eat anyway, hopefully. Nine successes.
9 successes. You beat them quite easily by 3. Something about them being thrown off in such a way that this came out of nowhere. This shouldn't be happening right now. That throws them off from the balance. And now Brutal Feed is free. All you need to do is, after a successful brawl attack using fangs. Sorry, yes, you were correct. So if it's a, so you have a, so when doing a bite, yes, it is a -2
Okay.
dice that one, but we've already rolled it, so we'll
Okay,
count that
I don't-
one.
Yep, no worries.
That's my mistake, so we count it anyway.
Mhm.
So you beat them by 9, and
By 3.
yeah, sorry, by 3, with your 9, and you manage to wrap them up, pick them up. I imagine it's something like, you know, the shadow wraps around their ankles and dangles them upside down, so that
something like
their neck
that,
is in
yeah.
the perfect position to feast on, or any part of their body, really, at this point.
Yeah.
So during Brutal Feed, it's all aggravated damage. Armor doesn't protect against them, so their armor does
Right.
nothing for them. So how much would you like to take?
I would like to kill them. So
Yeah.
4?
ideally, I'll take 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you'll make a hunger frenzy check during the
Mhm.
process.
Yeah. We love.
So I believe
Brutal Feed. Every point of hunger slaked causes 1 point of aggravated damage. Yes.
A human rolls strength stamina against the difficulty of your hunger slake to survive the blood loss.
Yep. First takes bite damage, then damage from this power. Okay. Makes sense.
So bite damage is always 2 aggravated.
Yep.
So depending on how many things you take, bear with me.
No worries.
So you've done 2 damage,
Mm-hmm.
and then you Brutal Feed, which then every point of hunger slate causes 1 point of aggravated health damage.
Yep.
Comes immediately, takes first, then damage from this power.
Mm-hmm. Do I get to pick how many points I take, or does it matter? Is it like a margin thing?
So it doesn't can drain a human completely in seconds, usually within a single turn. It's saying that it's depending on how much damage you've done to them in
Right.
this attack. So you've done 3 plus your potency because you've activated
Prowess beforehand.
So
Yeah. So that's another 3.
So it's 6. So you're doing 6 aggravated damage to a mortal.
Right.
So you get a mortal has technically a mortal has 5 hunger points in them if you go all the way. So you get all 5, and even though I rolled to try and resist dying of blood loss, there's no blood in the body to try to resist. So you can describe what this is like, or I can describe it. It's up to you. But it's brutal and quick.
Yeah, I think when Irene does this, it's very I don't know, especially in this situation because the shadow's there too. It sort of wraps around them at the same time as she just sort of goes at whichever point in their body is closest to where she is. So it's probably just like somewhere on their torso or wherever the armor is thinnest that she can get to. I'm not sure. But basically at the same time as she drinks, she kind of brings her arms around them and the shadow kind of grows darker and makes their way up their legs and sort of envelops them as well, which is it's kind of looks like in a way when she uses something like Touch of Oblivion, wherein like the blood is drained through the shadow as well as through herself, and the body is just kind of withering away as she feeds in this way.
Yeah. As this is happening, V launches themselves off of the building, slips onto the halfway through. There are calls across radio. Bullet fire continues to go, and then another round will happen. Starting with V, what would you like to do?
Gonna try and get further down to attack someone. Try and get to a point.
You can get to the ground this round. It'll be your discipline usage to get down there. And as soon as you do the same thing again. I don't know how gymnastic V is, so you can sort of fairly gymnastic.
She used to do like free running and stuff when she was breaking into
so it
places
is
and taking photos. So she's very nimble.
It's more of a parkour than a gymnast. Then a lot of so there's an empty elevator chute that's going to be part of the construction, which is just perfect for what V wants to do. You quickly running past, wrapping some of the plastic around one of her arms. She slides down halfway, jumps, catches on some of these sections, turns, and makes her way down through this in seconds, using Soaring Leap to go further than any human actually could. And catching onto, gravity almost seems less effective on you in a way.
Using Soaring Leap to like bounce off it, using that one leap to just like ping pong her way all the way down.
Yes, exactly. Wow. And the only thing that follows you down when you hit the ground floor is like some small rubble and rocks that you've sort of pushed while you've been doing so, and they sort of crackle to the side, sort of echo through this area. You're on the ground floor. From here, you can see out. It sort of turns from the first floor into sand just around you in this area. There are the 2 people that are sort of turning around. They don't see you. They're looking away, and they're sort of heading towards, sprinting towards the front gate where the guard is. You can see here from this angle, off to your right, a bit further down, is the darkness, the miasma. Off to your left, you can see this tent that is made up of plastic, and as you're sort of watching the tent, you can see part of the plastic sort of move occasionally, and this sort of splatter of something just hit against and darken the side of the white plastic. And from here, you can also see a couple of the people who you have both been shooting at, sort of down, hunkered behind cover of these big steel bars, and some sandbags that are nearby as well. They're sort of checking up in the tower, so they're not aware of you just yet. What would you like to do?
Is any one of them alone? Or are they all in pairs?
So 2 of them are sort of side by side next to each other, one tent and then the other. One of them is off by the sandbags by themselves, and the other one by the steel bar is like sort of in front of everybody, so everyone can sort of see them. The sandbag, which is you'd have to go around to the right of the miasma, which is actually quite good cover considering it's pitch black, total darkness, no one can see through.
Including me, but yes.
Indeed. So if you go around that section, you'll be able to reach the person at the sandbag quite quickly.
Oh. we'll go around.
Sure, I'll just get a simple dexterity stealth. And Irene, what would you like to do?
So there's 4 of these lovely people left. I'd first like to check. Looking off to my right, am I able to see the Nosferatu from where I am, or have I been obscured from them based on where I am now?
Yeah, so now that you're closer to the pit, you kind of have to be up on the edge to look down. Your elevate position, you're now... So the angle that you're at, you can't quite see down deep enough to where they are.
Okay, cool. In that case, I'll stay here. And there's 4 of them left. Can they all sort of see each other? This is just a purely aesthetic question.
Only the one... So this is a very long answer. Also, hello, Cersicraft. Welcome, Raiders, everybody. We're playing Vampire the Masquerade tabletop role-playing game. Hopefully you're doing well. Currently in the middle of combat. Wish them luck. Okay, so what has happened here is that the person in the sandbag can see the person behind the steel bar. The person behind the steel bar can't see anyone else. And the 2 people behind the tent can see the guy behind the steel bar. Does that make sense?
Yep, I understand.
Yep.
So the guy behind the steel bar is in the...
It's the closest sort of to the pit. And then just off to the right behind them is the sandbags. And then even further off to the left, but also obscured from each other, are the 2 people behind the tents.
Okay, awesome. So this guy behind the steel bar, in the most plain sight of his comrades at the front, I want to try and use this 6th level Oblivion spell on him. And now we're going to start sending some messages to these people. I'm trying to remember as well the system that we homebrewed.
Yeah, so we homebrewed the system for this particular ability. I believe it was...
I needed to make Stamina Oblivion, and they needed to make Composure Resolve, and then it's the margin in aggravated damage over however many turns it takes or something. To that effect.
Yes, I believe that was exactly what it was.
Yeah. And it's 2 rouse checks. Get hungrier by 1.
Nothing to 1 is not bad.
No. And I'll make Stamina Oblivion. And I'll rouse because I am not hungry anymore. Ha ha ha.
Indeed. How successful will we be?
Too successful. 8 messy critical.
8 successes with a messy critical. Okay. Let's have, in this case... So what usually happens with these is that you're going to get some sort of compulsion, or you're going to get hungrier, or your beast succeeds for you, either incurring stains or, making the situation better but worse at the same time.
Could I go into the Stygian Shroud to make it go better and worse? Because that's still technically stealth. I am still technically succeeding, but I can't see through it, so I will be completely lost. I won't be seen, but I will be fucked.
I fully encourage player suggestion. So if you'd like to do that, we can make that happen.
It's a bad decision, but I am happy to do that.
Okay. So you plot sort of the best course to take through the Stygian Shroud all the way through darkness to sort of hit this person, sort of leap out of the shroud at this person in the sandbag, because your beast knows that this is the fastest point A to point B is a straight line. So you duck into the shadow, instantly lose every sense of gravity, of sense, of touch, of space, movement. No air can enter here, no sound, no heat. And as you go through, you sort of try to stick to your plan as best that you can. So what I might do in this scenario is you can have a choice. We'll have a fun choice here. You can either do a survival check to try and navigate through this properly, at the risk of being attacked by this Nosferatu in this zone.
Ooh.
Or you can do your best to try and avoid the Nosferatu, but at risk of not finding your way out of this place properly.
Ooh. I'm so glad I decided to do this.
It's
Yeah,
more
survival
interesting.
check. Yeah.
Okay. Wits survival, please. And Irene, how many successes?
12 successes.
Jeez. Combat characters
Ooh.
are very good at combat. Would you like to just kill them straight up? Because you have enough aggravated damage on a mortal to just kill them straight away.
Absolutely. In full sight, I want to use this to sort of destroy them from the inside out, as it does.
Mm-hmm. This splitting shadow begins sort of at the center of this person. And what form do your shadows sort of take on for Irene? Are they like dark tree branches? Are they like tendrils like an octopus? Or they're like serpents? Or are they magic-y sort of wisps that sort of are connected to each other? Geometric shapes, maybe?
That's a good question. So Irene embodies this very kind of melancholic energy a lot of the time. So I'd say it's very like water imagery based, almost eel-like, I would say, in that they kind of it feels as though when they start feeling this happen to them, it feels as though there's something like foreign that's swimming inside them, and then they sort of burst out and kind of wrap around them like eels, and sort of burst from them in that way, slow moving but thick and viscous, I think.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent, and it's sort of, you can hear, only you can hear it, Irene, is that you sort of enter this trance while you do this. You look at this and you hear that echoey wail deep sound through you, and you actually make this sound as you do that, unconsciously, subconsciously, and reach out towards them. And as you do so, it responds. The water in their body sort of turns to shadow in the process and begins to burst out from them, and sort of almost creates this joining effect between them and the shadow in front of them, like they're eager to join the miasma. How many successes, V, while this is happening? You can't hear this.
4. No, I have no idea what's going on.
4 successes is heaps, plenty. So the Nosferatu swings wildly. They get a -3 on their attack roll. So because they can't hear or see anything. Yeah, only 2 successes. You're going to take a single superficial damage as they sort of swing wildly. Their claws catch you just on the cheek and sort of dig up through. It's a deep gash, but it's like for a kindred, for a vampire, nothing you need to worry about. And you keep with that straight line with this ferocity, this focus that the beast has given you, and leap out on the other side. How would you like to do this?
So if there's the sandbags and just the person lying down with the gun, is that
so?
right?
The sandbag is directly in front of you. The man is behind it. They've taken cover in case there's going to be a shot, because this is approximately the waiting time. The person off to your left behind the steel bar just behind you is bursting open at the seams and is screaming as they die. So it's just the man in front of you.
Yeah, gonna jump out of the shadows when I can feel like the shadows are thinning, kind of grab out the knife, which has got Scorpion's touch on it, I believe, still, and just slash, just try and latch onto something, slash.
Yeah, do a dexterity, your choice. So we can do dexterity melee with your specialty in knives. Do you want a +2 or a -2 on them? You want to roll more dice?
I don't know if I have enough dice for this.
I'll do the -2 on mine, because you have a surprise. You are leaping up over this sandbag. The person's
What's
in
the problem
cover.
of having not enough dice?
This is really where we're at, huh?
Yeah.
You guys built your characters for this. That's what it's all about. So of course you excel in this one. He only gets 2 successes.
Of course, it's messy.
We stand.
That's 7 messy.
7 with messy critical. So Baal's Caress is what has been put on these,
Yes.
as our wonderful doctor
Thanks,
has
Jack.
told us. And it remains potent for one scene. So during this, you beat them by a ludicrous amount. And since this is still sort of the beast succeeding for you, you leap up over the sandbags and actually like grab their heads, shoving them into the sand and just stabbing maybe one too many times as you bleed them. Do you have... How hungry are you, by the way?
4. I'm
Make
very
a hunger
hungry.
frenzy check as the warm, hot blood starts to enter your system as you smell it.
At this point, V's just going to lean into it and she's going to feel the hunger frenzy and just go let the
Gonna ride
beast
the
take
wave?
over for that
Yep.
moment.
Okay,
Yeah.
you ride the wave and sink your fangs into this person. It's almost like the beast does it. You let the beast take over. You leap over, slam them into the sand, stab once, twice, 3 times, and then just put your mouth up to the wounds that you've just created and sort of drink it down as it's flowing through you. You'll be here for a moment as they're already dead. You'll be here for the next round doing drinking, and then after that you will be fine. So
Awesome.
for now, put your hunger to 1 since you didn't technically kill them through drinking their blood. Irene, what would you like to do in the meantime?
I stand that so hard. What are the other 3? The remaining 3? Now that
Only 2 left. They are been very efficient. They are sort of... You can't see them from this angle. They've hidden behind the plastic tents. And it sounds like... Well, actually, we'll do a wits and awareness check to sort of see what they're doing, I think. You can see that V has leapt over this sandbag, and you can see blood spurt from like behind it, and then just silence. You know what's happened. And the man who has these watery shadows come out from under him has sort of fallen down in front of him, and the shadows continue to pour out and join the miasma nearby like a linking node. How many successes?
3.
You can see one of them from your angle as you sort of tilt your head out and open the plastic slightly to take a peek. One of them is got their radio just by their breast and is actually talking into it, getting some signal, making some orders, gesturing to the other person nearby. You can't exactly tell what they're saying because they have completely covered masks, and so their mouth move. The only thing you can see is their chin that sort of stretches the fabric up and down, and that's it. Clearly, they're communicating.
I need to move in combat.
I know, right? I mean, you can use the arms. The arms of Ahriman can... I think it can attack people a certain amount of feet equal to your Oblivion rating. And you have Oblivion 6, right?
Yes, I do.
But I can't hear you. Come over here. Rip.
I believe it's 2
Get
times,
over here.
I think.
Yeah, I do believe it is something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's double check.
So like 12 meters away.
Double
I
check.
don't have a Chicago.
Yeah, I'm going to check my Chicago book.
Yeah.
Let's just have a look. Here we go. Arms of Ahriman. So... Perform simple actions. The arms have a length in yards or meters equal to twice the Oblivion dots of the user. So meters times 2, so 12 meters.
12 meters.
Which is a sizable distance.
Yes, it's quite far. Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming this fellow is closer than that length away from me.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I will...
So, for example... That would be... that would be the size of... I'm trying to think of something that's like 12 meters. Exactly.
It's hard to say. Like half a short swimming pool.
So a surfboard is about 2 meters, so 6 surfboards.
Yeah.
In length, laid out down against. So that's quite a distance.
A lot of surfboards.
Yeah. You know, that's 6 alligators. You know.
2 and a bit diving pool depths.
You can use 6 alligators worth of Arms of Ahriman.
I mean, no, I won't make that joke. I'm gonna I'm going to try and use the arms to try to reach over to this guy. I can see the chin of him, so therefore I can sort of get a sense of where his neck is, and I'm going to try and use the arm to strangle him.
Mm-hmm. The only thing you'll need to do is move 1 more tent forward, and then you can do it.
Fine, I'll do
it. You'd like to strangle them?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing you need to do is grapple them with your arms. So we'll make a strength. So they can use half your potence, I believe.
Yeah, they're like a melee thing, I believe.
Yeah, so they can do strength brawl checks, but they use half your potence when they do those things.
Rounded down, I assume.
Yeah.
Cool.
Arms use the vampire's wit's oblivion to attack and deal superficial damage or grapple. So you can only do grappling, and then the next turn you can strangle them.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Adding half the user's potence rating as a damage bonus.
Awesome. Okay. I have the right amount of die.
So do your wit's oblivion. They will roll the composure and such.
It's too small for this amount of dice.
During this time, V, you are drinking or eating that sweet, delicious vitae, half full on it, with your beast slowly letting you go, letting you have your control back.
Mm.
5 successes on this one. Remember, you can split your dice pool between multiple Arms of Ahriman if you so wish.
I got 8.
Okay, 8 successes. You managed to successfully grapple them. As the two of them are facing each other, the man speaking into the radio. All of a sudden, he starts clicking the button. There's a static on the other end. He clicks it again. It tries to speak it through. And that's when he sort of looks at his partner. And as he does so, he notices his partner has this tendril wrapped around his throat that he is grabbing and trying to move as best he can, but his hands just phasing through it like it's not even there. Like he doesn't have the strength of mind to ignore it during this process. And then another round goes by. Now, at this point is when I'll mention that these vehicles you've seen here before, well, some of you have seen here before, way back with Felix when they were here doing some investigation. There were these big treaded, not quite tanks, sort of like large trucks that at this moment slam through the front gates, knocking them back, and the guard in the front of the tower leaps out of it as it smashes straight through it, just missing him. And you hear the crash, you hear the vehicle arrive as it does so, sort of screeches to a halt with its big treads, and starts, the side of the door hisses and starts to open up. And V, it's now your turn.
Oh,
Your slate.
Yeah, takes her teeth out of this guy's neck, looks around for a second, notices shit's happening. Will try and then sneak up on the next person that's the next closest person.
So the next closest person you can see from this angle is looking at something you can't see and have sort of frozen in place. But if you dash towards them quite easily, if you activated celerity, you could reach them.
Oh, I'm not hungry anymore. Yeah, hell yeah. Let's activate fleetness while I'm here.
Yes. So you sort of, it's quite horrific in its own way as V sort of lurch up and almost instinctually breathe in with the blood flowing down from your fangs down your chin, and you feel the surge of strength from that well-trained soldier through your body. What would you like to? You're going to activate celerity.
Yes, activating fleetness and running with the knife out to thwack a guy.
Okay. Since you have fleetness, no, you automatically succeed on any dexterity checks that require that sort of thing. So you automatically get there. So it's just dex melee. You're already there.
Lovely.
Almost like a blink. Almost. You sort of run straight through this plastic tent, push it out of the side. There's a lot of chemistry equipment in front of you. You don't even care. You just, parkour, jump across and slide across the table, smashing everything out of your way. And then out the other side, you're next to the person just behind them. That's when you see them, their backs to you, the other person being strangled by a shadow that you know is Irene. And Irene, you'd like to do some damage?
Yes, I would.
Okay, strength brawl, half, and then you add half your potence to the damage. This one, to the damage itself.
Damn.
So the one trying to defend from you gets 4 successes, V, and the one trying to defend from you, Irene, also gets 4. Both of them get 4.
So that's, I get 7.
I get 8.
7.
Regular
And
quit.
8. A single slide. Now that you are more calm and in control, V, I imagine this is a lot more clean. Small nick across the neck or something like that. That their heart stops. They die instantly and just collapse forward. The arms of Ahriman don't get any benefit from your early level potence, but they do get the damage on top of it. So you got what, 6 successes, was it?
6 successes, and then half my potence is 2.
So you do 4 superficial damage to this person. Their gun sort of drops out of their hands and it sort of swings loosely on this strap around their neck. As you watch them, you hear them choking through this radio that sort of speaks out instead of their actual voice, and they are choking for air, still alive.
Damn.
It's a slow, insidious process. What would you both like to do now? Irene, I imagine you want to finish this job. You want to finish strangling them. Yep.
Yeah.
V, what would you just re-roll strength brawl and add half your potence. V, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna grab the radio and see what communications are going on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Irene's got this guy under control.
Yeah, simple communication. As you pick it up, you notice that there is only one-way response. It's basically repeating this phrase: I9 is here. If anyone is here, don't talk on this channel. Repeat, talk on the other channel. And then it lists a series of numbers after that. It seems to be some sort of code that you might not understand. You can make a check to try and decipher it if you're good at deciphering codes.
I'll give it a crack.
Sure. So it'll be an intelligence, either an intelligence technology or an intelligence investigation.
Oh, fine.
Whatever you're best at. Decipher this code. Actually, you have dots in Second Inquisition. First Light?
No, I believe that's Irene.
Only Irene. Okay. Irene would be best at deciphering this code because you've dealt with them before. Yeah, weirdly enough. Those series of numbers sound familiar.
Well, she'll note them down either way, but I'll give it a crack. Let's say technology, because I'm the only one that can roll technology. That's 1.
1 success. It's a bunch of numbers. Whatever it means, you'd need,
numbers.
A bunch of people in a room working over all these numbers and sheets with the holes cut in it, putting it over paper to sort of understand how this code works. You're not sure what it is, what it means. All you know is I9 probably refers to the big, fuck off tank that's in the back.
Probably.
Yeah. And just as you're doing this and sort of understanding what's happening, these figures that make their way out look much more serious than these people that you've worked with before. They're sort of bulkier armor. They move a lot more efficiently. They've got big, strong flashlights on their guns. They've got these markings all across. They've got these big straps across their entire front that have 3 white wood stakes in the middle of them, and some sort of strange weaponry. And 2 of them. Okay, so there's 2 larger ones at the moment, 2 smaller ones. The 2 smaller ones are the ones who have the stakes and actually have swords across their backs as well. The 2 larger ones, however, carry, one of them has a flamethrower across their back. The other one has a smaller rifle with some sort of attachment that you can't quite see what it is.
Lord.
And just behind them, this man in sort of darkish armor with this symbol that you, V, have seen many times before. The symbol, the blue serpent, stretched across their right breastplate. They are armored up, looking ready to go, a sword in one hand and this big high caliber handgun in the other. It's up to you what you would like to do next. Actually, sorry, as I make those introductions, we're going to take a quick break, I think.
Ooh.
So we'll take 5 minutes. Stick with us until then. See you in just a moment. And we are back. Thank you for sticking with us. Welcome our lovely Tremere Primogen to this game. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Having is a strong word.
Yeah.
I'm forced
Thank you for enduring.
at gunpoint to play these games with you guys, as you can tell.
Yeah.
All right.
100%.
So, welcome back, and let's get straight back into it without any further ado. The introduction of these figures, these 5 figures, 2 smaller, more nimble knives across blades across the back, 3 white stakes strapped across their chest. Then 2 others, one with a big flamethrower tank canister across the back. You fought someone like this before, quite similar. And the other one seems to just have a normal rifle, but has some sort of attachment on the underbarrel. Not quite sure what that does just yet. And the one behind them, in sort of this stockier, but like more nimble armor at the same time, is this person with this blue serpent symbol across their right breast.
Not looking good.
Mm-hmm.
You say from the safety of the car.
Hey, I'm outside. I'm filming things.
You're filming the. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Joseph,
I
in the
am-
meantime, is getting some footage.
Y'all just see
Hey.
that car go through there? Military
That's a tank.
violin. This is a basketball court. It's so unsafe. Yeah.
Irene and V, you are struck with this. As Irene, you. How many successes did you get?
14.
Okay,
Are
so
you still in your shroud or you got thrown out?
out of the shroud now.
Get back in there.
So what happens in front of you, V? You may not pay attention to it or not, but the man next to you suddenly, you just hear this, and it just goes quiet next to you. And Irene, you know that you've killed them. The job is done. And these 5 other figures that have just appeared are the next things to either flee from or deal with. I leave it up to you both, as the 2 of you can actually actually quickly meet up because you're very close to each other right now as well.
Well,
Hey.
my health is full and I'm on 4 hunger again, so let's
You
Nothing
fight
has changed.
today.
How do you want to attack these guys? Also, good job on those. Yeah.
You too. They who are these people? They seem similar to the ones we came across when we went into that basement not too long ago.
Yeah, we've got swords people, a flamethrower guy, and that's the blue serpent symbol on that guy back there. These tanks, I think Felix mentioned seeing them going
Of the
around.
5, are any wearing visors?
All of them. Except they're more like bike helmets almost. They're sort of this half plastic and then sort of a dome almost. They're different to what you've seen before. This
Ooh.
is
Ooh, I
Interesting.
want one.
so you can sort of surmise that this is more advanced technology than what you've had before.
Lame.
Higher
They
up.
gave all the, foot worker people the basic stuff that just
Yeah.
works. This is the high tier gear that is given
Rip to
to
your
the
obfuscate. Sorry,
elite.
girly.
Do any of them have any symbolism on their armor or equipment aside from the blue serpent thing?
only the two that have the swords, sort of nimbler
Hmm.
looking ones. They have this. They've sort of carved, almost like they've taken white chalk and have carved these symbols into the top of their visors and onto their shoulder pads as well. It's beginning to rub off slightly. It seems pretty fresh.
Mm.
Using this, you're very familiar with Second Inquisition symbology. There seems to be some alliance between
Yeah.
the SI and Society of Saint Leopold
Mm.
in this current moment. However flimsy it might be.
Don't like that.
No. Instead of V, just it seems as though these people are from different organizations. They're working together. The ones with the swords are similar to the ones that we've come across before. They use God.
Oh, the
and
holy men, the spicy.
yes.
Yep.
Yes, so
This-
don't drink their blood. Because it hurts.
Yeah, I remember.
Joseph Sword people.
Joseph. Yeah. Cool. And then the other ones, they're like tech people, like the previous people, right?
First light, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, does the numbers, they will like rattle off the numbers. Does that mean anything to you?
Doesn't mean anything to me.
So you've been on a constant call this whole time. So Joseph, you can make an intelligence investigation
yeah.
on intelligence technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just plugged into.
Oh, I
headphones.
think if you're like describing things, it'd probably be like, you can come and get my sword if you want to put it into the fuel tank of that dude.
I have good
Or
ideas, but okay.
Irene, you can make an intelligence and use your dots in first light instead
Sorry,
of
it
a
was intelligence investigation.
or intelligence technology.
I see.
I mean, I
Irene
might
can
as well.
substitute the law sheet, Second
Got it.
Inquisition, instead of an
Ah.
attribute.
3
Skip.
successes.
3 successes. It seems to be a bunch of numbers randomly put together. There's
That's what I
something
thought.
there, but you can't quite figure it out.
Okay.
They're just rattling off gibberish.
Ah.
They have a lot of silly
Codes and
ID
shit.
things. And
Yeah.
5 messy
Oh.
5 messy critical.
crit.
Um,
Why?
This to you, Irene, especially your beast, is useless information. As soon as you hear the numbers, you might have been coded in some way. Perhaps Tally did something to you that makes you automatically figure these things out, or your history with them, you've started to piece some things together from what the people that you've Googled, the people that you've, had a talking to, might have given you certain things that you can work with. You know that this is just explaining how to get to the next channel, what numbers to put into the walkie-talkie to get onto the next
Yeah.
channel. You know
sounds like
how to do
little
so.
ID codes and numbers and stuff that First Light deals with
Just-
a lot.
Useless. It's just they don't talk normally. They don't say, I'm going to move over to the next channel. They need to say a bunch of numbers to make themselves sound like they're doing an important thing.
Okay.
I will also add your clan compulsion is going to activate. So the next thing you fail, you're going to have to do so again and again and again until it's
Mhm.
done ruthlessly.
They're just
Woo.
And it's not a bad clan compulsion to have right now.
Yeah, right now.
Like there's worse things.
What is the Nosferatu do?
Is they
they-
still in the
As
alive.
darkness?
So as you're all talking amongst each other and describing sort of what to do, the large man sort of lumbers his way over to this pit, flicks on the flame and just ignites
Oh.
all the darkness down. You hear this screeching from inside the pit.
Wait, can it do that in the dark?
So it's
'Cause isn't it-
outside of it. It's pushing the
Oh,
flame
okay.
into it. So it's not. If the darkness was around it, it wouldn't be able to use the air. But since it's coming from outside, the flame
And
lights up
introducing
the
light.
darkness itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's introducing it to it. So the darkness dissipates as they just wreath this flame across the pit. You hear the screeching of the creature, and you actually see it run, grab onto part of the side, leap up, pull itself into the concrete, and it makes it about halfway before it succumbs, falls down to the ground, and the man just continues to wreath it in flame as it sort of screeches like a dying spider on the ground.
Let him use
Shit.
up his ammunition.
Please stab the fuel tank.
Yeah, I'm gonna look on the recently made bodies around us and see if they've got like any guns or like combat knives or anything that
They each
I can
have
steal.
Yeah, they each have that. They have a submachine gun and a combat knife each.
I'm gonna take the knife and going to fling it at the tank of the flamethrower.
Okay.
Oh, hell.
This is going to be a very difficult roll, and so you know it's not going to make it ignite. This is not a flammable
Just
liquid
puncture
by
it.
itself;
Yeah.
it'll just puncture it.
If it gets rid of his ammunition,
Yeah,
that's,
it
that's
will,
good.
if you hit it lower in the tank, it will slowly leak fuel until it's empty. So if that is your intention, that'll absolutely
Yep.
work. It's a cold shot, dexterity, strength, and melee.
Strength. Okay.
From this distance as well. So cold shot -2. You're very far away. It's going to be another -2 as well. So -4 to hit this tank in this exact spot.
Good luck.
Also -2. Well, then I'm gonna rouse because I can.
Yeah.
You do have special.
You do have to sort of push it to a supernatural level to hit a target from that distance.
Don't
you have to be very skilled.
I do, but I haven't activated it at the moment.
Would you like to?
And it only adds dice for your unarmed attacks.
Oh, that is prowess. Okay.
Use the willpower just for funsies.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, it adds half to melee.
Cool.
So that's regular crit. 7.
Oh,
7 successes.
yeah.
Perfect. You've practiced this a lot, and you've seen these targets before. You've fought them before, way back when. You know exactly where to hit. And you know that removing their most dangerous weapon first is the key to survival.
Not get
here.
burnt. To not
And-
die of fire.
Through forcing the blood through up to your fingertips for fine precision, using your fleetness as well, sort of balancing it perfectly on your hands as you feel it before you let it loose through the air. It sort of disappears from your sight for a brief moment as it flies over the flames straight through them, and then it punctures the side of the tank, and fuel starts to leak out from the side of it. The impact sort of makes the man sort of jolt slightly, and they continue to wreath flames if they stop and begin to inspect the tank.
Okay, that should eventually put that out of commission. Okay, plans.
We need to get rid of them. I don't know which ones. They're all terribly powerful in their own ways. So
Mm.
it doesn't really matter who we go for first. It's just who we think is going to be the biggest threat.
Warning shots to feel each other out. But it is fine if we bow out of this battle to win the war.
We'll take
So,
them into consideration.
Hit them as hard as you can, and if they hit back harder, leave.
Okay. You've got your
Sounds
sword,
good.
right? Yeah.
Yes, we just don't want to let this opportunity pass us by. There.
No.
No.
And we don't want them tracking or following us or anything.
Yeah.
So they can't leave. Okay. I'll go after the gun. Do you want to go after one of the swordsmen?
Certainly.
Try and touch their helmets.
Okay.
Okay.
Technology. I got you.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
If it allows V to use her obfuscate more, and it disables their ability to identify you in the future. remove it.
All right, I'll try. I'll go after the one with the gun then.
So the
Oh, okay.
heavily armored one.
Yes,
Cool.
he looks like the big boss man a little bit. Is he the one with the blue serpent imagery?
No.
okay.
That's sort of a smaller, nimbler one in the back behind
Right.
them. They're sort of so there's this like straight diagonal ramp that has appeared from the entrance of this vehicle, and they're standing on that ramp, sort of slightly above but behind. Bit more of a
Oh.
vantage point.
If they're still, so they've come out of a vehicle. It's like a short ramp, I imagine, not
Yes.
like a long one.
Yeah.
Shunt them back into the car, and then throw them back.
With enough strength, you can.
And you're a
I mean, it is like
big, beefy gal. Power of
Based on
Christ
the fact-
compels you.
Based on the fact that we have just put a big leak inside a fuel tank, I do not want to throw a combustion engine inside. the
Yep.
factory.
It's a wise decision.
You don't know what a combustion engine is. Throw the car. It's just a thought. You can shunt them in and
Okay.
get in close combat with them if you want to.
Let's officially begin it then. So V, what would you like to do?
I will go after one of the swords people. Well, if Irene's going after
Now,
gunmen.
this is the tricky part. They are together. They're all grouped in close. They're not spreading out. They're not moving. They're staying together in this tight formation.
There was two bodies where we are right now,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
So I'll grab the other knife
Mhm.
from the other person. Yeah, let's vanish, and then I'll run up to them and try and stab two at the same time. So I'll split my dice pool.
Okay. You vanish, and you have Ghost in the Machine.
Yes, I do.
Okay, you're perfectly fine. then.
Damn.
You disappear before everybody's eyes and make your way across, and you want to attack the two swordsmen.
Yes. So it's not going to kill either of them, but if they're injured slightly, that will be good on my end.
If you can get just a touch of Baal's Caress on one of
Yeah,
them.
one of them will be Baal's Caressed.
Okay, so let's make a dexterity melee. You split your dice pool in half for each of them. And Irene, what would you like to do?
As much as I can, I'd like to try and sneak around behind where this big armored guy is. My aim is to try and crush their helmet with my hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like
You're not fast enough to
mhm,
probably reach them before they can attack you.
right.
You'd have to
in
have
that
fleetness
case-
or something like that.
In that case, I'll get as close as I can, but hide for now.
Yeah. Would you like to make a presence known or just be stealthy?
I'll be stealthy for the time
Dexterity
being.
stealth then.
Yep.
Joseph, what would you like to do in the meantime?
I was just thinking I could get involved in this at this point.
Yeah.
I think having the video of being like, this is evidence enough to get people riled up about the military. Put his phone away, crouch down, bite his middle fingers until they bleed, and then draw geometric like wing shapes on the outside of his heels, stay crouched down, and teleport to where the sniper was.
That's
So use the path of Mercury.
too far to get there. It's a 12-story building. You can probably get
How tall
to
is 12 stories?
big.
About 25 meters.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can do 10 meters.
Yeah, so you can get about halfway,
Um,
approximately. If you were to walk around to the front and then do it, you could teleport about halfway, I'd say. So to the 6th story to get you some advantage.
I can't see over though, can I?
You can. So the building's still under construction, so it's plastic that's wrapped around the side. You just need to move the plastic out of the way. You can
See-through.
see down.
Yeah, I want to find a spot that is pretty secure for now.
Uh,
Or
there's-
like hidden. I'm not just like out being like shoot me with
Yeah,
your
so
gun.
the only advantage to being there, there's no physical cover, but there is obfuscation. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
tarps and like things around that'll make you hard
Yeah.
to hit.
No
Uh,
one's expecting you.
I
there.
already have Flush of Life going, which should also help their
Mhm.
stupid heat sensor things.
Yep.
Succeed on my rouse, so he just
Yeah, you get to the 6th story straight away, almost like a puff of red smoke
yeah.
in just a moment. And you appear sort of up there, observing down across everything.
And then I'll tell V I'm coming to help. It won't be
Okay.
much, but it's something.
Be
Okay,
safe.
V, how many successes?
3 each. So 3 on
3
side,
each.
3 on the other.
That's pretty good.
And one's Bell's Caress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I might be able to do no, Purge is only in Kendrick.
Okay. Apologies for the wait on this one. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Boy.
Oh no.
Also, I was
Oh.
thinking you could corrosive V-take their stakes.
Oh yeah. Or even this sword.
Okay,
Cool.
so what happens, V, is as you approach these two Society of St. Leopold hunters, you get close to them and they actually don't move. And then you bring the blades up, but as you do so, they both draw their blades and block your attack at the same time without even looking sort of where you are. They can
And then I feel
sense.
invisible now.
They can feel where you are, and then they turn and they both see you. However, as it's happening, you use the combat knife in one of the hands. The other one, its blade goes straight through the combat knife and digs into your arm and pushes down into your shoulder. So you are going to take 4 superficial damage as the blade cuts straight through this weak blade compared to your other one that blocks it quite well. And they draw the blade back.
Damn, what are they supplying these days? Fuck.
Absolute
Ooh.
garbage.
Yep.
Irene, how many successes?
6 for dexterity and stealth.
Certainly.
I
So this guy-
can round.
This guy doesn't have the same senses as the Society of St. Leopold Hunter. He doesn't have that supernatural vampiric sense that True Faith gives you. So you hide quite well and behind, sort of almost vanish into a shadow and slink up behind a pillar. They're sort of observing, looking, and then all of a sudden there's a kindred next to them. They take this big shell from outside of their belt, they load it into this contraption, cock it up, and just aim, but there's too many people nearby, so they do not shoot. The other man sort of successfully is still going to take another round to take off this flamethrower barrel, so he's taking his time. The one behind simply doesn't move. Gun is raised, but they don't shoot. Again, you're sort of in close quarters combat, so it's very risky to open fire. So you're sort of both safe and in danger at the same time.
Yep.
So another round passes. B, what would you like to do while you're here? Don't forget, you can rouse every round to heal as well.
Oh, I
Yeah, I've
just
been
did
doing
that. And now I'm on food hunger, but it's fine.
Was that our stuff happens at the same time?
At the same
right?
time.
So because you're in this mild standoff, I think that would be the best time for me to, like, while everyone's like, oh, what do I do? Gun someone in the head with blood strike.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just, and then that gets them to go, where did that just come from? And then you could be like, so if that sounds good, I will. Who looks like the biggest threat just from appearing and looking?
Probably the one that Irene has her eyes on. The one that has this sort of gun, because they're a big man with a small gun, and the small gun kind of means that it means business, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably the biggest target. However, they are not.
Final form logic.
They're not. Yeah, they're not involved with. They're not currently engaged with
because they can't shoot right now. Cool.
Whatever they have on their gun clearly does a bit of damage, and they don't want to kill their friends.
Not just. A
I will
single
blood
bullet.
strike them.
Okay, you do it at a -2 because you're quite far away from them. Actually, no, you're only 6 stories. No -2 on that one.
Yeah. I'm going to be climbing, so it'll
if-
get harder.
When you get to the top, it'll be a -2.
Okay, lovely. I will turn that real sniper into a blood sniper. It'll be great.
Cool, because I took
V.
the ammo from them.
At the same time, V, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and hit someone again. I'm kind of right next to them. I might as well swing
Mhm.
and hope for the best.
So there's the one that you're currently engaged with blade on blade, or there's the one who's damaged you that's sort of taken a step back.
Can I try and maintain the blade, like not actually strike with one arm, but try and stop them from striking me with one and
You
then
pref-
try and swipe the other? That
So
would
you
be
prefer to
difficult.
block and attack someone else?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So what we'll do in this case is you will halve 2 separate dice pools, if that makes sense. So stamina, dexterity to block using your blade, and then halve that, and then we'll do dexterity melee to attack, but halved as well. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, no.
Cool. Irene, at the same time, what would you like to do?
It is at this point where she will go up to this big guy, trying her hardest to sneak, but it's difficult because everyone's so close
My
together.
blood strikes will help.
True. And I'm going to try and reach up 2 hands on either side of this guy's helmet and just try and crush it. And
Mush.
maybe a bit of head as well at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get strength and brawl.
Okay.
Specialty in grappling for this one. Actually, sorry, it's a cold shot, so it'll be strength brawl, not -2
-2
plus your potence as
plus
well,
burdens. Okay.
because it's a feat of strength.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens then.
And now this dude's got to split his dice pool too.
He
What?
loses 1 dice for every person he's defending against. You only split dice pools if you're damaging multiple targets.
How much
could-
I got to pay you to make it 2 dice?
Look, I'm just saying my bank account is open for.
Okay. Send me a PayPal. Let's make it
Just
2.
Kofi down the.
Yeah, true.
How
much art I have to commission?
6. Look, I'm not saying my tabletop role playing games are pay to win, but
No, not on camera.
No.
Okay, and then the other guy, same dice pool -1. Oh wow! It's always my first round. I'm like huge blows, and then after that, it's like, no, that was it. Glass
You
case.
don't like that.
They're like, whoa, these guys look really scary. Actually,
How many successes, Joseph?
9 with a messy crit.
Ooh.
But because it's a crit, I get blood back.
You do
Oh,
get blood back.
yeah.
hmm So it's
Hell yeah.
almost
Thank God.
yeah, it almost like transforms into a whip as you shoot it out, or you can sort of direct it
It's
back
like-
a
so-
boomerang.
He has like that line cut up his forearm that turns into a ball in his hand. And it shoots out like darts with like the thinnest connecting line between it. Hits probably aiming for like shoulders or like joints or something like that. But just hits, and then there's going to be like a burst and a splash, and then it like coalesces back in and comes back into the orb that then drains back into his arm.
Yeah, so you get 1 hunger back. You can't go below 1, and
I'm at 4 hunger, so
okay, so you go to 3. And as you fire these out, they sort of split into a lot of the armor of this person. A lot of it's padded, and a lot of the blood just splashes against it. But some of them get through and pierce through and take the blood and bring it back to you. And as you do so, they sort of cock the gun slightly down. V, how many successes?
Yeah. 2 for holding the blocking, and 3 for slashing.
Yeah, so this time now that you're all sort of facing each other, V, you're sort of standing, watching, flicking your head between both of these figures as they both sort of look at you and then attack at the same time. But you just bring the knives up, sidestep, sparks fly, nobody hits anybody.
Okay.
And the swords sort of hit the sand, draw back up, and get ready to attack again.
My
Irene?
blood strike does superficial damage, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Cool.
Irene, how many successes?
So I got a crit and I got a success on all my dice. So it's
Chad
16.
energy.
16, did you say?
Far out.
Yeah.
So let me get this
So
right.
no head.
16, this is considered aggravated against mortals. Each level opponent ignores armor.
Yes.
He's fucking dead.
Oh yeah.
So
And I got a 6.
what happens is that these small darts sort of pelt them and they sort of turn this big gun to almost to try and fire up back where they were shot at, but the shot misfired. It doesn't actually fire through. Perhaps they loaded it a bit incorrectly. And just before they can try and fix it, Irene, you slap the hand out of the way, and then it's with the disgusting efficiency of someone crumpling paper, just bang, like clap the hands together, and then they crumple dead down in a moment.
Does that end the ruthlessness?
I mean,
No, because you have to fail a check.
damn.
Oh. ruthlessness.
Right.
You have
That's
to
never gonna
fail it, and then you have to beat it again
Oh, I
somehow.
That's right.
It's the next one you fail. At the same time as this is happening, the figure, so the two blades connect, the figure getting off the barrel sets it down, sort of just kicks it away, basically, far away from the vehicle and everything else, lets it roll off and slowly burn up. And then they just they don't have any other weapons, so they just put their fists up and are just going to run over and try and fight. It takes them, since they've got such heavy armor, it's very
Amateur.
cumbersome, and they have to make big lumbering steps over, and they sort of join the fray at the same time. However, the person with the blue serpent symbol looks up to where you are, Joseph, and starts firing their gun. They're going to take -2 because they can't quite see you properly. So that is that minus that. You can make...
Oh.
No, you don't have celerity. You can't dodge bullets. I'm afraid.
Can't
Bullets too fast.
wait to enter torpor, guys.
So
Oh, no.
this hurts.
Yes,
Oh.
bullets do hurt my squishy.
No, it really hurts. So
Oh.
these little bullets, as they hit you, they actually fizz and spark and ignite.
Ah,
So you take 4
bullets.
aggravated damage as the bullets,
Oh.
I believe it's magnesium bullets that actually spark and fizzle, and fire comes out of them as you sort of fall back with them riddling your body, all sparking at once, burning you, and you have to quickly like pull them out of you. Luckily, you're used to this
Oh.
with your surgery abilities to make
Yeah.
and magnesium ones don't spread. Luckily,
Yeah.
it's just a brief burn, but it does some serious damage to you.
How does
Also,
hindered work again?
you're impaired, so anything using your physical dice pool is at a -2.
I never do that. That's great.
Joseph
Exactly.
smells like airplane fuel now.
You do.
Yeah.
oh.
And piss. He pissed his pants.
For a kindred, I don't think that's possible. But
It's
okay.
not. He brought his own.
God.
A new round happens. The Irene, Joseph, what would you like to do?
Can't heal aggravated. And if I did my surgery on myself, I'd go into torpor. So I'm gonna. I'll just blood strike again and then run and hide somewhere.
Mhm.
I will do it at the blue serpent.
Yeah. I was
Okay,
gonna
if
blink to
you
the
if you
serpent.
do that, you do open yourself up for being attacked again. So you know. So you
So
have a
open yourself
Oh,
potential.
so I can't. Oh,
Well, the fact that you have to open it up and then strike leaves you open to being shot at
Yeah,
again.
because it all happens at the
and
same
if you
time.
take
including
any more
that.
aggravated
Mm.
damage, you die
I
instantly
do.
from these magnesium
Mm.
bullets. So I would
Mm.
not recommend.
You dodge at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
I can't dodge. I am going
Climb
to
up those stairs.
Teleport back to the car.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You hear his voice through the phone, very angrily and gutturally, just be like, "Not this," and then teleport back to the car.
Yeah. You
And
go.
I'm hungrier, so
The beast is angry.
Yeah,
it's
he
furious
is.
with you.
yeah, he clocks out and lets his beast in, and he's just like, "I'm going to go into, well, not actively a hunger frenzy, but he is like, I'm leaving."
Yeah, understandable.
You, with a puff of red smoke.
Yeah. He
Perhaps
does
a
that crouch down, he draws the
Mm.
blood wings on the side of his boots, and then he just
you're back on the street, already walking quickly into the car. And Irene and V, what would you like to do here?
Mm.
Scared of these St. Leopold's guys, but I should try and take them out.
don't let my immediate death scare you. You guys are built.
Terrified.
You guys are built for
Well, I
combat.
was gonna blink to the blue serpent
Serpent?
guy if you, yeah, because I realized two people, I'm less as effective. Plus, they've got massive swords. So
Which is your deal, Irene. Do
Yeah.
remember that your big sword is
that
Baal's
big fucked off
caress.
sword
I
on
know,
your
I know,
back.
I know, I
Yeah.
know. Ugh. Let's think.
Yes, let's think.
Take your time.
What are you
It's,
thinking?
you know, the whole battlefield sort of slows to a pause as your sort of instincts kick in. You take in the entire scenario around you. You
What
fought
are you
worse.
feeling?
I
He's a
will.
werewolf. We're all good.
Yeah, that's very true.
And
These
a, and
guys.
a Vosged.
I
Oh, yeah.
forgot about that.
I'm gonna try and. I was thinking either Arms of Aramon with both of them up in the air, but it's difficult to do anything.
And it
after I've
leaves
done that.
you open to be shot because you can't do anything while you're doing Arms of
Yes.
Ahriman as well.
Yeah.
Shroud
So-
again?
No, because then V will lose sight of what she's.
Oh,
Yeah.
drink some Oblivion blood. God.
We've all done it. It's
Already a crock pot of
True, true.
different ability.
I'm going to try and stab. Well, I'll go for the neck, but if I get anywhere else, that's fine. Just the closest St. Leopold's person.
Hell yeah.
Bring the sword out and go for them.
Oh, you. That's not a sword. This
This
is a
is-
sword.
My dad gave this to me.
What would you like to do?
And V, do you guys want to work together? Because I feel like together might be the. Oh, you're going for blue.
V's
Serpent.
going for blue.
I was
Serpent.
gonna.
And
Got
I've
it.
already rolled it,
Kind of
and it was a
away
good
from
roll.
Yeah.
I meant
I'm
the.
gonna surgery
this-
myself in the car
no
and
more
pray
hunger.
to God. So.
Okay, make that roll.
God.
So, V, you're blinking towards.
Yep, successfully blinking. Thank goodness. So hopefully that serves as some level of distraction that the person they were fighting is no longer there.
Yeah.
And blinking towards Blue Serpent, and I'm gonna try and attack this man.
Mm-hmm. So you have a choice of dealing damage, or you can try and break their gun if you wanted to. If you stabbed into it, you could
Ooh.
destroy it.
If you can touch him with your knife, he's dead. As a reminder.
Mm. That is
Of
true.
course.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't leave him alive just in case. Okay.
Absolutely. What we needed was that fucking Nosferatu
Yeah,
alive.
that he,
so now that he's dead, none of them get to live.
Yeah, I'll attack him. It's I got enough that I could break the thing and then attack him on my next Like I got 8 successes, and
Good.
it's an instant kill no matter what I roll, unless he dodges for thing.
Just ghoul blue serpent.
That's always a thought. It's always a thought. I mean, I already have a ghoul that hates me as part of the second
Collect
Inquisition.
all the
What's
vampire
another
hunters.
one?
He's the boss, man. Like that's.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Mhm.
break his sword. Not a sword, his gun.
Mhm.
That's the 8.
So you have a few options here. You can simply slice it in twain, or you can aim for the magazine where the magnesium bullets are. This is risky because it can damage both of you, but at this close
I'm
quarters, it would
okay with that.
okay. Dex,
Celerity is active.
let's get. This is going to be strength melee to
Strength, okay.
pierce through into the magnesium
Yep.
bullets and pierce them in such a way that it ignites them.
Cool.
With a cold shot, -2.
Okay. Melee.
We love
That's
risky.
nice. It's kind of V's middle name at this point.
hmm Irene, what are you doing?
Well, I am trying to stab one of the St. Leopold's guys with the Balscaress sword.
Okay, you're drawing your.
Oh.
It's less of a stab and more of a because that sword is very thick. It's like
It's more of like
a
driving it through
bisection sort of
somebody.
thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Strength melee, please, with and add the damage of half your potence.
Mm.
Joseph, how successful are
I
you?
got 6 successes on my biothaumaturgical surgery.
You are successful. So the difficulty, what was it? 1+ how much aggravated damage you have.
Yeah,
You heal you can transfer one of your aggravated damage into superficial.
into superficial.
It's
yeah.
painful.
So he
It's picking
just
out
like
bullets and
leans back, sets the seat all the way back, and just like pulls at the wounds and is like gushing blood and
Oh.
using it to like he like swirls it in and like presses one of the wounds and he's just like
Love
It's
that.
a delicate surgery, but one that Joseph is ready
Yeah.
for. These magnesium bullets need to be
Mhm.
carefully removed, and you are carefully taking your time
He's
removing
like
them.
pumping the blood with his
Mhm.
like blush of life to like flush it out of his system and then pushing the blood, like circulating it to get the magnesium out.
Yeah, also.
V, how many successes?
8 messy critical.
8 with a
Woo!
messy critical.
Kill this man.
No, I'm going for the gun, not for killing
let
this
the
man just yet.
magnesium kill this man.
Why do you want to kill him so badly?
I'm nearly tempted to ghoul him.
He's
be
the
honest.
bad guy.
So
Does that stop me before?
you
True.
you get a choice here, V. I'm
Mm.
going to give you a choice. You are going to lose this roll unless you
Okay.
re-roll. But the choice
Oh,
here
okay.
Special
is-
willpower.
So how many have you got?
I got 8.
They have 12
Okay.
successes. So it's a double crit.
I'm so close to a double crit.
It's your choice for a
Special
re-roll, and you might be able to
reroll
beat
rounds.
12.
Have you roused?
Yes, I think. Did I?
Check how many dice you have on you should normally have, and then see if you have too many. Too many. While you're doing so, Irene, how many successes have you got?
I've
Oh no, I
got
didn't rouse.
9, but I haven't roused or willpowered. So
You've got 9, and you're trying to stab one of these people.
Yes, with the Balscaress sword.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this case, you said 9?
Yep.
Yeah. As the two of them are prepping and look like they're pausing for a brief moment, the two of them like reach into their belts and start uncorking these vials of things and like pull up their masks, start drinking them. You catch one of them as they're doing this, so they're a bit distracted. They deflect your blade as best that they can, but a little scratch is all it takes. And as you do so, they just die instantly, and they smash this liquid across the sand and die instantly. However, the other one does manage to get the liquid into them, and you sort of see their face, this sort of young man, shortly shaved beard, eyes almost yellow and blood red as he flicks the visor down and sort of pumps themselves, puts their blade in their hand, is ready to fight you.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
How many successes, V?
Okay, I've used a special willpower.
Mhm.
I have now got the double crit that I needed.
Oh,
How many successes?
I
yeah!
love you so much.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Yeah!
So I just beat them. Oh,
I'm going to use a
Still
special
messy.
willpower.
No! Bastard! I sort of gave him
I
one of
want to
those
find a
willpowers
clip
as well.
of you saying, "I could use the willpower to help."
Yeah,
guys,
yeah. Let's
you know.
go. Flip
Because
that
I
one.
want
Have you
I
say
want to
that.
give you
What?
this fun scenario. Yeah,
Okay.
that pushes it to 15.
Ow.
So because I want to give you the special
That is
scenario.
so
That's the
Okay.
only
funny
reason I'm
in
using
this
it. I'm not using it to
Special
damage.
scenario.
you.
One
Sure.
die.
Yep.
So
yep.
your fun
Very
choice
special. You
here.
get to rewrite a character.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
So you have a choice here. Your
Mhm.
Bile's Caress blade is going to get caught in this magnesium. And it's going to cause a bright flash. It's not going to damage either of you. However, you have a choice of holding. You have to let go of the blade and hold on to them. You'll be dragged inside the vehicle with them because they're trying to close the door behind them. Or you can hang onto the blade, but the door will shut in front of you.
Oh. Well,
That's-
I've got to go with this guy.
That's your choice.
So
So you
you're
won't
holding up my
have.
lovely, lovely knife. Thank you very
Your
much.
blade.
You'll have to
Yeah.
drop it to reach forward to grab them.
It's not like Abdullah can make a new one. Anyway, we're grabbing and getting in the car.
Okay.
Dead
God.
science jokes, my friends.
So to be
Fine, yeah.
clear, that means you don't have a knife on your current.
Yeah,
knife.
I know. Oh, do I still have the
You have
combat
your
knife on
silver
me?
It
knife.
was destroyed. Their
Okay, I
blade
do
went
have the
straight
silver
through it.
knife. I do have the silver
do,
knife
yeah,
that I did bring.
That's a sort of
It's a very brittle
piercing.
steel
Yeah.
knife.
Yeah.
It's a piercing sort of.
It ain't
through
made for this
dagger.
man.
Great.
For
So
sure, yeah, man.
as you sort of, Irene, you sort of bring your sword through and slash through one of them, drop them. You hold your hand up, this bright flash of light, and
Oh.
Joseph the Cool cuts out as soon as they enter this vehicle. And V, you're sort of toppled back and stumbled down into this sort of high-tech inside this vehicle. It's quite spacious from what you can see. It seems it can fit maybe 12 people in this location. There's a lot of seats around, a lot of high-tech computers around nearby, a radar dish up the top. There's also weaponry around the walls and whatnot, guns. No blades, just guns. It seems this is a Second Inquisition thing, not a Society of St. Leopold. And
Yeah.
as you're sort of stumbling into this vehicle, the Blue Serpent sort of stumbles a bit further away from you, keeps some distance. They don't have their gun on them anymore. Their helmet is half melted with the amount of magnesium that's come through. You can see their sort of auburn hair from the outside. She pulls the helmet off, and her tied up long auburn hair is at the side. She's got this big scar across straight through her entire face, and some small burn marks just around her neck. And she puts up both of her fists without even thinking.
Yeah.
And a new round begins.
You gotta say some quip like, "I'm good at tracing," and then cut half a head.
Wow. Now I'm activating prowess.
Ooh.
I am weaponless.
Irene, what would you like to do?
The other one.
Hmm. They've drunk a concoction and seem almost,
Oh damn, they've got potions.
pushed
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
They just
beyond human
drank
limitations.
meth.
I mean, essentially, right?
Close to
I
delirium for my Dragon Age fans out there.
I am on 4 hunger,
hmm
so I don't want to use the level 6 ability again because that requires 2 rouse checks. And I don't want to hunger frenzy and feed on this guy who's just drank holy water or some shit. So
Brutal feed time.
No, the holy men.
Oh, true.
They put holes in you.
True.
It's the meaning of holy men.
I am going to try and grab him by the throat with the arms of Araman again.
Okay.
And I'm going to take a few steps back before I do so.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Joseph, I imagine you're getting the car ready.
Am I able to do? I think I can only do surgery once. can't
Once.
I?
Once
Yeah.
per session, per person, I believe it was.
Yeah.
It's very similar
the
to
ball
Salubri, like
just cut
Valarin's.
out.
It did. It's just static now.
Becky.
Oh my god! I feel like I need to go back now. Oh, he gets out of it. And he will fucking teleport back. He's like super. He's really hungry, and the beast is there. And the beast is about survival. He cannot survive without these two anymore. So he goes out and will teleport to that same spot. Actually, can I see through from the ground?
No, you'd have to walk. See through what? Like to where?
My intention is without using my action to teleport,
Mhm.
can I fire a half-lat at the tank that was set aside?
Is that
Uh,
what I'm in?
You can.
Okay.
It is an armored vehicle though, so it's a flame will not scratch the
Sorry,
side of it.
not the tank vehicle, the tank of
the
flammable
flamethrower
oil.
oil tank. Yes.
And what would that hit someone?
It would the force of the explosion would likely knock people over, and it will cause a fear frenzy in every kindred that can see it. So it's both
Thoughts, Irene?
helpful.
Do you think you can handle a fear frenzy?
I have 4 dice to roll, so maybe.
All right.
The difficulty will
Yeah.
be 3.
Yeah, he'll
They're good odds.
fuck it. He's just pissed and he knows Irene's tough and he will just be like, I said, blow the tank up, and then he's gonna shoot a fucking half.
Okay, composure, firearms, please.
Yeah.
And Irene, you're using that.
The big boom.
Okay, so that is
Whoopee.
Wits Oblivion for Arms of Armor.
Yep, Wits Oblivion. If you're trying to grapple them.
Yes, I am.
At the same time, V, you are squaring off inside of this tank with the blue serpent. Her fists are up. She's ready to fight you.
Yeah, I'm gonna. So I've activated prowess. She's going to bite into her wrist,
Mhm.
which I'm at 3 hunger, so it's not too bad. And like jump at her and try and ram my wrist into her mouth.
Oof.
Okay.
I am so here.
So that's okay. So you're trying to get some of your blood into her mouth.
Yep.
So it's
And trying to keep it there as well.
so it'll start with a brawl roll, and then after
Yep.
that is when you can apply the blood. So it'll be strength brawl with a specialty in grappling if you have it. You have to.
I should, but I don't.
It's similar to biting. You have to grab them first, and then you
Yeah.
bite them, or you grab them and then you do this.
Mm.
You basically have to keep someone in place. And
Awesome.
mm,
Oh, I get to add my potence. I keep forgetting that.
you do if you're using strength.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay, to start with, Irene, how many successes?
9, and I can spend a willpower, but I don't want to because then I'll have to get successes on all of them.
You are going to have to because they got 10.
Okay.
Special
okay.
willpower?
You have
Yeah, you've
3. Both of you,
Okay.
V and Irene, have special willpower as well.
I will definitely use a special willpower
Yay.
first, then. If
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Use it before you have to fear
Yeah.
frenzy.
Yeah. Because this is simultaneously as that thing fucking detonates.
Okay, 3 extra successes, so 12. in
You
all.
beat them as they sort of just stare. Your shadows begin to wrap around them and actually constrict them in this moment. They are currently grappled as you take 2 steps back and then use them.
Mhm.
But you're not sure for how long. They seem just to stare straight at you, like resolute by whatever it is. And Joseph, at the same time that this happens, there's this almost like a firecracker sound, this hissing, and then this whistling as a half of the fires through the air detonates on the target, just a bit high, but the sparks and the flames fall into the tank, and then boom, and you feel the impact, all of you. Stamina, athletics, everybody. Not UV. However, this tank is solid. It's not moving anywhere.
Oh,
Stamina, athletics. Okay.
Stamina, yes, to keep your footing.
look.
Let's see, that's less on that one.
Thankfully, thank God.
So, V, how many successes on the brawl?
5.
5. Something weird happens as you
Uh.
go to leap. Like you draw the blood, you get ready to leap, and just as you're about to, she twitches her head, and you see her veins sort of pulse red and go through her whole face. And then she's in front of you, and she just slams you. She blinks into you and punches you with a left hook right in the face. You take 2 superficial damage,
Oh.
pushing you
Just say,
back
what
slightly.
the fuck?
Quick question. What the hell?
They've been swearing a lot the entire time. Just it's constant swearing.
Mm-hmm. Irene and Joseph, how many successes?
5.
Joseph, you're knocked to your feet, knocked off your feet, knocked to your
Yeah.
feet, knocked off your feet onto the ground, prone. Irene, you stand resolute, and then I need both of you to make a fear frenzy against this thing.
Easy squeezy.
As the fire begins to lick at the ground, and all the empty fuel that had been poured over and moved starts to lick down across it and spread the flames.
How many do we need?
Did you say it
3
was
3 successes. 3 successes.
Yeah. I got
Difficulty
4.
3.
Yay!
Yep, you're both fine.
Yay!
You both instinctively take a step back, your fangs come out, but you stand resolute. You know, getting any closer to that is a bit dangerous. And yeah, V, you sort of get knocked back. You sort of slam into the panels behind you that sort of look out. You can see Joseph is. You can actually see through this black visor that's out the front. That is only one way. You can see Joseph is knocked off to his feet.
I'm just lying on my back
Yeah.
on the road, just looking up at the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And Blue Serpent sort of moves like a boxer and then shifts the weight to the other side. Takes a step back, watches you carefully. That vein is pulsed and like a deep red now. Like instantly it did such a thing.
Mm. Yeah, that's really
Sus.
weird. Yeah, sus.
Bloodhound a little bit.
Better not fucking be it. Yeah. I guess. Nah, at the moment she's too busy trying to not die.
Yeah, that would take a moment. Also, she's not bleeding, so it's pretty difficult as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and figure out what her next attack will be and
Okay.
try and
Yeah, let's get Wit's insight.
intercept
please.
it and shove my hand in her face.
Actually, we'll get Dexterity insight, please.
Ooh, I like this roll. This sounds fun.
Irene, what would you like to do?
Keep on strangling.
You want to do some damage now?
Yeah, definitely want to.
Strength brawl.
I think at this point, just will stand up, and he is just trying to assist Irene. So he's just going to very messily blood dart the same person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
What?
Oh, it's so much hunger, though.
I know.
I've got to
How
start
many
making a tally of how many messy criticals I get a night.
successes, V?
That's 8 messy critical.
Your clan compulsion is going to activate in this moment.
Oh, okay.
And at that moment, you can see that she's wound you up first with the left hook, and then she's going to do another one before the right comes around. You know that's going to be the haymaker, planning to put you down in one hit, whatever it is.
Okay.
You can tell that that's the movement she's going to make. But whatever else she's going to do, you can't quite tell.
Yeah, she might do zippy zoom. But I've still got fleetness activated, I
You
think.
do.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try and dodge out of it, but move into her, and again try and get into her face.
Okay. What happens is she does sort of, except this time, what sort of throws you off is it's slower, and she actually does the left hook at a normal sort of, soldier's pace, not supernatural. And you manage to grab her arm, flick it just behind her back, but I'm going to need another strength brawl check to see if you can hold that position against her. She's still quite strong and well trained to get out of these positions. At the same time, Irene, how many successes?
11.
11. You are going to deal.
And they get a -1 if they're splitting or like trying to.
For each one they're defending against.
They just choose not to.
So the first one they get no penalty. The second one they get penalty. The third they get a penalty. So it's
I see.
no negative, -1, -2, -3.
Got it.
So ganging up is like the most effective way to do that.
Yeah.
And so basically, Irene,
Mm-hmm.
this is the wrong roll. So I do believe you beat them in this scenario, but it's not a lot of damage. It's only going to be 3 superficial damage with your potence added to this. So you manage to constrict them, and they look like they're very close to breaking free of these bonds. And as you sort of constrict them, they don't seem to respond. The only thing they sort of respond to is like the irritation of not being able to get to you, almost like this, whatever they've drunk is sort of taking over their mind and like giving them a compulsion to fight to get towards you. Joseph, how many successes?
8 and a crit again, so I'm going to be drinking because the beast is like, eat, survive, you need blood to live. And so it's just, I think the difference between a Joseph dart and his beast dart is the way he holds it. It's like comes from his fingertips into a ball and he just throws it at them.
This does quite significant amount of damage as you pierce through and peel off the armor, but what's most disturbing about it is how little they react to the blood, the explosions that sort of happen in their body. They're just writhing and trying to get out at you. Whatever they've drunk has pushed them beyond their usual, human limitations.
I'm going to learn from my own stupid mistake, and as the blood comes back into his palm, he slams it onto the ground and discards it.
I was going to ask if you were going to do that. Yeah,
I was like, and then...
Because we told you that earlier, so you know.
Yes. And his beast is like, I know how to survive, and it's not this.
Not this.
Yeah, don't want to drink that blood. That burns really bad. So you don't get any blood back. But you do some serious damage to this figure. V, how many successes?
6.
Unfortunately, they are trained for this exact scenario, and they just turn, flick, step back. Neither of you you're both like dueling and getting equal marks against each other. Silent respect sort of between you both. You sort of stand there waiting for the next person to make the next move. And another round passes through. Irene, what would you like to do here? More damage?
Yep, more damage.
Okay.
Why not?
Do it again.
I think it's the old Irene and Joseph.
Same thing again? Same rolls.
Yeah.
V, on the other hand, what would you like to do?
It's easier to feed blood to unconscious people.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If I soaring leaped into a person, what would that like? And to like push their head against the back door or part of the tank.
How much?
Knock them unconscious.
Well, it would
because I've got 2 levels in potence. I've got prowess activated, and I can soaring leap.
It wouldn't help your damage at all. It would merely help the. What I would say is that make sure that you don't instantly kill them if you want to knock them unconscious. The
Yes.
combined use of those powers is what I'll let you. It won't have any mechanical change, but it will let you just knock them unconscious and not kill them.
Yeah.
If you
That's
succeed,
the
that
vibe.
is.
If I succeed, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Is that strength?
A strength roll.
Roll again? Okay.
Yeah, because you don't have any weapons.
I do not have any.
So it's unarmed. Unarmed dice on this one. Then that's going to be like that. Ooh.
I didn't rouse. I've got the blood. Let's rouse.
Irene and Joseph, how many successes?
6 this time.
I'm actually going to spend another special willpower because
Okay.
Let's kill these dudes.
If you're sure, we still have some other events coming up that you might want to keep them for. You only have 2 left. Unless some people want to be extra generous and give
Yeah,
items.
we hardly ever use them, and this is
the first
pretty
time I've used
important.
them
You can
in-
use the channel points to give people willpower. Special willpower rerolls.
You know what? I'm going to use it because
Yeah.
Fuck
Yay!
it. Why not? Why not?
What are we saving it for? A rainy day? It's pouring.
And it's just completely worth it
good-
too
it's a good one.
because I got another critical.
Hell yeah!
Mm-hmm.
14 successes.
Yeah.
Team
Between the two of you, I'm not even going to do the calculations because I rolled poorly for the first one. The two of you, this exploding blood and a constriction, they don't even scream or yell as you twist and contort their body until there's no life in it left, and drop it dead to the ground.
Big guy's still left, right?
Big guy is still there. He's sort of
Yep.
observing what you guys are doing, and he tried to make a break for the inside of the tank, but the door's closed, so he's currently outside.
Oh, did he get
He stood his ground.
lame?
His
Yeah.
heavy armor actually grounds him as
Yeah.
well.
It was
He-
anchored.
Simply reaches down, picks up one of the swords. It looks tiny in his large armored hand, but he does the best that he can. Readies off against you. V, how many successes?
That's 5.
It's again a strange sensation. You see her. Can I get a insight check, please?
Oh, sure.
Actually,
Big man is not Leopold, right?
no, they don't have any markings on their armor.
Perfect.
You want
That's a
super set?
1.
A 1.
Well, I want
Okay.
you to success.
Something happens. You're not sure what it is, V, but as you leap towards her, all of a sudden her hand is on your throat. Her force, her strength is inhuman. And again, this vein pops, but a different one up in her neck, and it's dark red, and she just
Steroids are
slams
taking.
you down into the ground for 4 superficial damage. And
Oh, boy.
even dents the bottom as she slams you so hard down. She
Okay.
picks damage not to grapple you, so you are free to get up when you want to. But she does so, slams you down, doesn't say a single word. She just looks at you with these almost blood red eyes now, growls underneath her breath, and then takes off towards the front of the tank where the driver's wheel is. In this next round,
Okay.
Irene and Joseph, you're faced off against this next figure. And V, you're prone on the ground, but you can get up.
I'm
I
hungry
think-
again.
Yeah, 2 fingers. Door or eat?
Let's hold up the second option and I'll go.
He will, using the blood orb in his hand, split it into 5 for his fingers and like arc it around to get this big dude. And we'll blood strike to give you a little assistance.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the armor actually gives them a negative on dexterity rolls. They're so heavy.
Ooh. Eat this man. Irene?
Eat him.
So Irene, you're going to do strength brawl. You're going to simply dash towards them and try to grab them.
Yeah, I'm done with theatrical things now.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
No one else is around. It's just you. It's fine.
Yeah.
So for Joseph, 3 to dodge your darts, and 7 for Irene. V, what are you doing? Sorry, V. V, what would you like to do in this current scenario?
I think I've got compel. I think I'm going to try and just tell them to stay still
Mm-hmm.
because
Okay.
they're no longer wearing their helmet.
They aren't, but you are going to have to make a check to get their attention. So
Oh yeah.
it is going to be, since they are not currently engaged with you, you will need to make a resolve intimidation against their wits awareness.
Yep. Okay.
5 hunger, gang.
Oh
I
no.
am feeling it as well.
Yeah.
I'm nearly there, but not quite. Oh, okay. I'm closer to it than I was before.
Mhm.
I'm at 4 now. Couple of roused.
Comfortable for you?
Yeah. For you, the V special.
Irene, how many successes?
I got 9 successes.
Of course. You beat them. As they're 7, they sort of collide with you with their shoulder and try to stab at you, but you sort of use the momentum, flick along them, and then actually wrap your arms back up around theirs and hoist them up off the ground, even though they are larger than you.
Yeah.
And at the same time, sort of exposing their chest for all these darts that slam into them at the same time, bursting armor off.
I got 7.
7 successes. They're going to take 4 superficial damage
Yeah.
in the process.
Soften them up.
Nice.
Tenderize the meat.
Oh god.
The things we do for each other.
Yeah. Magic missile energy.
How many successes, V?
3.
Ooh.
Their resolve is too strong. As you sort of call out to them, dare them to get
Like,
your
hey,
attention.
stay still.
She
Bitch.
she reaches the front and pushes this lever forward, and the tank actually jolts to life, sort of bringing you slightly forward. Irene, I need a dexterity athletics as it rears forward straight towards you.
Yeah.
Sorry, sorry, you moved. Actually, you're out of the way now because you're actually where the person was. It's
Woohoo,
sort of on an
see?
angle, so it avoids you. It goes straight forward and crunches into one of the bases of this construction tower, slams into it. It's not enough to destroy it, but it weakens it.
Oh boy.
And the impact sort of puts you reeling slightly forward, V, but you have Cat's Grace.
That's grace. Yeah.
you
absolutely.
automatically succeed. You can keep your balance as this is all happening. And then another round happens.
Can I
Yeah.
Mm.
can I find a way to collapse this building on top of the tank? And would it deal significant enough damage to stop?
Girl,
It's actually really hard to tell what would do the most damage to the other. With the way that this tank slammed into the side of the building, you're not sure if that would. The best case scenario is that might make it stop moving.
Yeah, because it weakened this like structure.
Yeah.
And if this collapses and reveals the bullshit they've got going on here, all the better. But yeah, he just wants to, that's weakened, and then just strikes at the nearest point of weakness. Would it like he wants to stop this tank from moving where possible?
Okay, I'll actually get for this particular plan, I'll get an intelligence, science with a specialty in physics.
Okay. Intelligence, science,
or explosives. It's also in science, but technology technically.
Biology, would that do it?
No. If this was a Tzimisce Tower, maybe.
oh boy.
7s across the board, actually. So that's 4 successes.
Okay. Your brain sort of goes into almost as fast as V's brain with celerity. You start planning some things, making you go, okay, all my abilities not going to work. This is a strong structure. But And that's what you see it buried in the sand is that rifle that the first man had that has that attachment under the ground.
True.
You see exactly what that is. That is a grenade launcher. That explosive power shot at the structure again could bring this entire tower down. It's down in the sand behind Irene currently.
Yeah, I think he just makes a very feral looking dash towards it. And will grab it, nothing pretty about it, just does a general, I guess it'll arc like this.
Composure
Jesus.
Firearms, please.
Damn.
God.
It's a time to kill Steel again.
Irene, what are you doing?
This is happening at the same time. I am going
Cool
to...
people don't look at explosions you can feed while everything's happening in the background.
Yes, he's.
I will actually. You're doing that.
You want to feed? Brutal feed?
Yes, I do.
No.
Feed.
Okay. Strength
Yes.
brawl. So since you've already grappled them, there's no cold shot for the bite now.
Okay.
So it's just raw strength brawl. V, what would you like to do?
So, lady's distracted. Our blue serpent pal is
So
distracted.
yeah, so she sort of hit this thing, and it's actually made her fly slightly up onto the control panel, and then she's just slided it off, and it's sort of
Okay.
put her feet back on the ground.
Well, she's stabilizing. Can I again try?
Oh
this
my.
blow? I'm gonna try it at least one more time at this point. If not, I'll find something else to do.
Her back's to you right now. Just get her Achilles heels or something.
Not quite. So she's like rolled up onto the thing, and that's allowed her
Oh.
to turn around.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, as she's stabilizing
each other.
herself, I'm just gonna keep trying to ram my wrist into this lady's mouth.
Okay. You'll need to grapple them again
Yep.
to make sure, or you can knock them unconscious. in the
Yeah,
first place.
maybe just jump at her from here and like smash her into the control panel.
I can do that if
Yeah.
that makes more sense. Yeah, cool.
Just lock arms in front of you.
Definitely easier than trying to grapple her
Okay.
Yeah.
good.
because she's trained soldier.
Yeah.
You're better off just
I thought she
beating
was on her
her
side, but
until
no. Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go
Palpatine
down, go
spin at
down.
her.
Lord.
Strength.
Yes.
Press. And then yeah, it'll be another soaring leap trying to ram her head control panel.
I don't forget you can heal as well if you wanted to use the blood.
Oh god,
Well,
yeah.
currently I'm fine. Looking at my
Okay.
hunger.
Beck just vibing to 13
Yeah.
successes in the
I
corner.
bet I am.
Oh, amazing.
How we go, V?
So that's 5. Yes, I can count. That's 5 successes.
Okay.
Boing.
Again, you can make another wits insight check if you'd like.
Cool. Let's do that. Now that I'm closer to her, maybe
She's
V
being
will
a bit
finally
less
understand what's
subtle
going
about
on.
her movements.
Actually,
too,
your
to be disoriented.
compulsion is active, right?
Mhm.
Yes, my compulsion.
Would that help you?
It doesn't help.
It makes me want to feed on her, and that's not what I'm currently
I'm
trying
getting
to
very
do.
hungry vibes from you. Miss
Compulsions and
Kimberly.
Sorry.
help don't exactly go together.
Not
Okay.
usually, no.
3
3 for wits.
successes.
Yeah.
Okay, she's clearly doing something. She does something with her body. You're not sure what it is, but when she does it, you see that her eyes go wide. Again, there's that pulse, and actually one of her veins on her forehead starts to pulse red. And
This
As-
can't be healthy.
as she does so, you leap at her, and her fist almost breaks skin, but it breaks the bones in your ribs as she catches you and uses your force
Ooh.
with you. It's going to be 6 superficial damage.
Oh,
This
1
time
second.
she pushes it really hard.
No,
and
no, 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 no.
as she does
good
so,
night.
does that put you
Cool.
into
Not
a
yet.
4? Okay,
1
you
a
won. You
single hit, more hit, and I'm
as she
fucked.
clotheslines you with both of your momentum together, it actually pushes you back, and you roll across the ground, bones broken, in bleeding out. And at the same time that you start coughing blood out, she actually falls down to her knee, coughs blood out onto her hand, shakes her head, and flicks it off onto the ground. She
What
sort of
the fuck's
eyes
wrong with
you.
you? Oh,
That's Newton's third law, baby.
Equal and opposite reaction.
Now, Kit.
Joseph outside. Newton just happened. I can tell.
My Newton senses are tingling.
Irene, how many successes?
15 successes.
Holy.
You know what? Just because I'm gonna roll anyway, but you know,
We'll see exactly how much blood you get.
Don't you dare be
5.
me.
Yeah, no. You in one turn,
He's still up.
just like wrap your arms fully around them and then just fully squeeze the blood, almost like
Juice
you
box.
make a single juice box puncture and take all the blood from them. This is not holy blood. It reduces your hunger to 0 in this one turn.
One.
Joseph, how many
To one.
successes on your composure?
3,
firearms?
I can get more.
You will probably need 4.
Sounds like I need more.
You'll need 4 to be so specific with
Oh
it.
my god, that's a success. Thank God. I do not want to frenzy right now. All right, that is 5 successes.
5 successes. You hit your mark. You hit the right other section of the building because you're an intelligent kindred. You know
Yes.
exactly which one to hit. If you were to hit the left, you would do so much damage to the nearby buildings. But if you hit the right, it's going to fall across onto the basketball court, onto all these tents, and not hit anyone else. So you fire at that one. It weakens the structure and actually shifts, and it starts to slowly groan as part of it slowly begins to tip. It isn't falling just yet, but it's tipping slowly. And in the next
Throw the
round,
gun at
in the next round, it is going to collapse. So, another round begins.
Yeah.
Irene.
It's not a full action. He does just over.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a
throw
free
the
action.
gun.
Yeah.
Would I have seen V go into the tank?
No, it was a bright flash. You had to cover your
Yeah.
eyes. You don't know where V is. V could
I
be Ash
point.
for all you know.
To
Didn't
the tank
Uh,
door
no way.
because they're trying to drive away. There's people inside. Door.
Which door, girl?
Rip the back door off.
All right. I will try.
Okey dokes. I can't do shit, so best of luck, bestie. I'll help you out.
If you are going to rip the door off, it puts you
It
in
is
risk
moving.
of the collapsing tower
Ooh.
because it's going to collapse on top of this thing.
How you doing? Health wise, Irene.
I'm perfect. I'm at full health, but that's a building.
That is a building. Must be nice.
The
being at full health.
Nosferatu is ash. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
Whatever's left of them is
God.
blended with the sand or blown away in the explosion.
So annoying.
There's only just electrical wires and pumps left.
Oh, I'm going to find the look around to see what's on the ground because he's like, how do I problem solve? And he's going to grab V's dagger.
Yay!
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
problem. You can easily find that. It
Where
shines
is
in the
she?
sand.
It
I
would be
don't
near
know.
the where
She
the tank
disappeared.
was. Just
That's coming down. They're leaving.
Well, then we need to wait until it comes down and get to a place where it won't fall on top of us, Joseph.
Pull it back. Rip it off from here.
Fine. Arms of Ahriman.
Okay, so the set
I
it's gonna be a
guess.
set DC against this door.
Yeah.
Wits and Oblivion plus half your potence.
Okay.
This is a strong door. Now, in the back of the player's handbook, there's actually a list of objects. And
doors.
Door DC.
and door DCs. We love door. We love inanimate object DCs.
Hell yeah.
Unironically, I actually really love that.
Did that? I haven't used like a full action thingy, have I?
No, you haven't. You haven't even used the discipline. either.
I'm going to use where the shroud thins and be like, rip it off from here and try to align you with.
And we've just killed a bunch of people, so
Yes.
That's
So
That's a ritual, right?
it is not. It is a discipline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Discipline.
Yeah, that's
Level
fine then.
2, I believe.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, go for it. My
With-
thinking was that
Not
rituals
one.
have a certain amount of time that they take, but
yes,
if it's
yeah,
just a
yeah,
discipline,
yeah.
that's
I'm hearing.
let's see.
nice.
How many successes, Irene?
10.
10.
Just hands.
10 is
With-
going to be enough. I believe the
Um,
DC for a
I
door like this is only 7.
Well,
Hell
it's
yeah.
like 1 dice, depending on the shroud, because I did get enough to see the shroud. It makes your roll even higher.
Okay, because I'm using Oblivion, makes sense.
Yeah, because if you're using Oblivion, it makes it easier to do or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, for example, 10 successes allows you to rip open a steel pipe and bend an I-beam with how much.
Oh, an
Ah,
eye beam?
yeah.
Jesus.
Damn.
And you can throw a speedboat with that much strength.
Mhm.
That's what the book
Rip-
says.
Shit.
So
Rip
quite-
that door off.
Quite easily, the arms of Araman slink their way into this door and actually start to bend and break it with the raw force. You sort of have to strain yourself a little bit, and it's this horrible screeching sound that it grinds against its gears. Electric sparks start flying, and then you just,
Yeah.
in one swift motion, just rip it and throw it across, like almost like a frisbee. It spins across, lands in the sand across from you. And it is, as you do this, V, what would you like to do?
You said there was guns on the wall?
There are guns on the wall.
Yeah, I would like.
They are quite large. They are light machine guns, so they're quite big and have
Mm.
big canisters underneath them.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot her in the stomach if I can. I'm gonna grab a.
You have blink,
An
right?
LMG.
I do have blink, but I've got fleetness already activated, I believe.
Come get your knife.
And then come back for no, it's got Bell's press on it. I'm just trying to keep
Oh,
the bitch alive.
Why?
Because we got a ghoul.
Because
For what?
information, because she is the Blue Serpent or part of the Blue Serpent. I've been tracking down for fucking ages.
Oh,
I
thought
want
she just appeared.
information.
I was like, okay, fair.
She knows about this Blue Serpent
I
shit that
work
we've
for
learned
her.
about
She sucks.
today.
She's the
Okay.
big boss bitch. Like,
I'm gonna
what,
try
you know?
and grab something while just
Yeah, you sort of pull yourself up, even though your bones are broken. Grab one of these huge guns with your arms. Take aim as best you can. Now, is composure firearms? And since you're impaired, it's a -2 because it is a physical.
However, I haven't got up to 5, and last time I was with what's her name, Eric Tho, and I drank something fancy, and I just looked through my notes, and it's called.
That's right. Calming the blood that
Apathy. So
that
I
ignores
don't give
pain.
a shit.
That's right.
You're
That's
chill
right.
right now. You're like, ow.
I'm
You
like,
actually suffer no
Ooh.
penalty from pain. So in that case, composure firearms.
hell yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, thank you. Eric.
I vibe with that.
Okay, we're doing okay. And when I say okay, not really okay. though.
Yeah.
It feels like we're okay, but we're not really that okay.
That's 4.
4 successes.
Mm.
So she can. It's weird to explain this. She can try to dodge this. So if you want to try and get higher,
I need to use a special willpower.
You have 3.
You have more than everyone else.
Yeah, let's give it a
because she
try.
does
then.
beat your 4. She gets 6.
I'm
Good
not gonna
luck.
be so good.
All you need is
6 or 7.
I've also got 6, so we may.
you tie up. Ties go to the player, and
Ethan, stop looking at that willpower, please. No more special willpower, please.
no way. I specifically used it so that we have such a fun scenario. Leave me alone.
So I can get to this level of ouch.
This intricate scenario. It's
I'm
fun.
so
And
close to death.
it's- Irene, you rip the door off, and you get a brief glimpse at the Blue Serpent, the woman with auburn hair, and you just hear a bang and a flash as the building collapses down on top of the whole tank, and the area just slowly crumbles down, crushing its way through, dust flying up into the vehicle, and all around sand billowing up and out. And there's this silence that sort of fills the area for the moment. As Irene and Joseph, you sort of stand there around the flames, the darkness, the blood, the bodies, and everything that's happened here.
B.
There is rubble covering a lot of that tank.
V.
V, from inside, there is, it's very dark in there. There's a lot of flickering lights. A lot of the rubble has sort of, little bits of it have made its way inside, but the vehicle is pretty much unharmed. However, one of the steel pipes has slammed its way through the front of the vehicle, but it's missed everybody. But it's very close to hitting anybody. And you sort of sit back with your gun just on the side, and opposite you at the very edge, sort of clutching their bleeding side, is Blue Serpent just watching back at you. Their eyes sort of the whites of their eyes have gone completely blood red at this point. How hungry are you? Please make a hunger frenzy check as they are.
Yeah, that's one dice. It's not going to
bleeding.
do anything.
Yeah,
I've used
we're
normal
about to find
willpower.
out whether this ghouling becomes a child.
Oh my god, no.
How much
would
do you
be
need
bad.
this information, V?
So you're going to
This
go
is
into
bad.
a hunger frenzy
Yeah.
in this moment. You don't hear anything, Irene and Joseph. You just see the rubble. I'm not sure if V's still alive or if anyone is alive at all. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Where is she, Joseph? When was the last time you saw her?
She was on the roof.
That was just
How long ago?
When the first opening shot was taken. He's gonna walk closer to the rubble, probably using Sense the Unseen just to see if anything's going on, but there's probably nothing magical happening. I think he's just looking and listening, and just he wants, because he doesn't know that V's in there, so I think he is trying to find anyone who's alive, probably the Blue Serpent, so that he can kill them.
You do
So-
have my stone.
Oh, I do, of course.
Bloodstone, just to remind you.
Right.
You can
How
feel
could I forget?
the direction that V is somewhere in
You're
there.
tracking us constantly.
Yeah, I think when Irene, when you're like, where is she? When did you last see her? Because I completely forgot. Thank you very much, Phoebe. He'll just point. I had to stop the car, and he's going to start walking towards it.
Irene, it's a huge collection of beams and stone. I imagine you're going to start pulling certain things off. I'll just get a
Boulders
strength
out of the way.
brawl,
Hmm.
plus add your potence to this as well.
Hell yeah.
And then he's just yelling as well. It's like, V! V, I have your knife. V! We need to leave. We leave together.
7 successes.
7 successes.
Damn.
It's not enough to do it quickly, but it is enough to slowly take your time. You have to actually take your time to slowly bend down and lift these huge pillars of stone
Ugh.
up and out of the way. It's quite an
Probably a bit
effort.
of Joseph being like, don't move that beam too much. Don't, like, the rest of this could come down.
It takes quite a while. And
But so does killing a person by drinking.
See you
indeed,
soon. You and your child are.
however, you awaken out of this blood red frenzy. Strangely enough, you awaken on top of the Blue Serpent. Your fangs have been in their neck, draining their blood. You can. How hungry are you? 4?
Yeah, was it 4? Yeah.
Okay, you'll go to hunger 1 as you've drained a deadly amount of blood
Okay.
from them. But as you sort of do so, this shouldn't be so deadly to someone, but whatever they've done to themselves has pushed them to the brink of, you can feel it when you were feeding on them. Their heartbeat is slow. They are about to die. any moment now. So you have a difficult decision ahead of you. You can, at this moment, choose to sire serpent, or you can let them die. Because they're past the point of being gored.
I will remind you that we have a friend, because I know siring's definitely not on V's list of things to do.
No, that was not something she ever wanted
We
to do.
have a friend who's really good at communing with dead people.
Yeah, but we're not sure if they're going to have a ghost or not. I don't know if this is their unfinished business. Or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you think we're going to learn from this person that they're actually going to tell us?
We've got Ishtar's touch for that.
I mean,
with your research and knowing who signs and orders all these attacks and everything, you know that they are pretty much in command here in Chicago. They are the elite of the elite.
Mm.
If you want any info on Black Site 24, she's probably got all of it.
And probably of all of American Second Inquisition stuff.
Yeah.
all right. Let's see if we can forge option 3.
Yep. This is all that character. Time sort of slows at this moment. She's
Siring her creates more problems because she'll probably do what happened with Felix's siring, where she's like, "Oh, I'm Banu Hakim now. I use my 5th dot to boil all of your bloods, and then you'll just like die."
They don't get 5th right away.
Mind you, and you're really low generation. She might be a thin blood if
she might be.
Also, they begin with a level of blood bonded as well because of your blood.
Yeah, we've seen what that does to V schools. So
I think these schools are good.
No,
Yeah,
I
They're bad to everybody else.
Josephine a piece of shit because
Josephine's lovely. We love.
She's fine out of character. I do like Josephine out of character. In character, she needs to die. So, third option is you're very fast and you're in control of yourself again, and you can hear Joseph yelling. You have every one of your disciplines active right now. You have fleetness, like you have all your shit, and blink and everything like that.
Well, blink you've got to use, but yes.
Yeah, so like you could grab her and blink on top of all this shit, like rip through to get to Joseph because I can surgery mortals. It'll hurt her a bunch, but she can.
What a prediction!
Like, I will run that by Ethan. Is there a chance? Because can I surgery her if she has gotten to me quickly enough? There's a risk, of course, that she'll get really badly hurt.
I don't think that's.
But if V worked back towards us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either information or no information.
No, not leave her. Bring her with all of her speed, potence. So none of the disciplines can. Fuck. All right.
Walk in the road.
Yeah. Okay. So would Oblivion, you can only move yourself. You can't, because I need to get to her to save her, because I feel like that is the only way to stop her without somebody.
I don't know if you'll be
becoming
able to make
a sire. So it's finding a way to get her to me or me to her.
Teleport?
Oh, I couldn't teleport.
You couldn't teleport it before. God damn it.
And you don't know
More questions.
what the situation is.
More questions.
Yeah.
In character, though.
Well, yeah, in character, you don't know what's happening. Really.
Yes,
Well, then
very
V
true.
might be in bad shape
Um,
because she's not responding.
So there is a workaround of the obfuscate so that my sense the unseen picks you up in this shit. And just to be like, are you safe? Use that sense the unseen. I find you. I teleport. Like, it's a weird workaround, but it's a way to get me there.
Yeah.
No, like, as in, yeah. Ugh, for fuck's sake. What else do I have?
Ugh.
Um,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, look. Fatima.
I don't think any of my.
No, God, no.
Okay, it's all good,
Fuck
guys. I have
her.
eat food. I eat my way.
don't think
Cool.
I do.
Also, do you have Felix's character sheet? Can
Felix
we-
is no longer.
Oh, yeah, I have
He's no
lots of
longer-
other bookkeeping. But I
Um,
think his is a lot of connections to people. His aren't actually abilities and shit like that. Beck, do you have anything that just tunnels through shit? Do you have Kamehameha wave that you can?
No, I don't.
See,
Right, let's
again,
open this gate.
there is a chance there'll be a thin blood. There is
That's
always
not
that
better,
chance.
Just FYI.
It's not worse.
Well, based on the fact they probably won't be able to inject themselves with that shit when after their embrace, they're probably
fucking
gonna
hope
power down.
So I hope they can't take the steroids of, I don't know.
So we risk a thin blood, which is seemingly the better.
Yeah, we risk a child or a thin blood. If they're
If that happens, you need to call me again and not be seen. You
Yeah.
can't talk to us about it.
yeah, no, you guys, especially, oh God, you guys are a hound and a fucking.
That's
privet.
what I'm saying.
Forgot
Is
about
like
that.
we
Forgot
need
about
option 3 because if you do this, you're on your own.
Yeah. Which we're technically not part of a coterie anymore.
We're
so
not.
It wouldn't affect you guys as bad.
Exactly, but it also means that
But
then
we
there's
can't- I
only
can't let you
one
know.
person to kill, you and your child. So that's why I'm really like, how do we rip through this or you get her out?
Now, my plan is to
Mm.
fire this person, but not keep them alive for very long. Like,
Oof.
V does not mess with the Second Inquisition. She wants the information, and then she wants to kill them, basically, unless
All right.
situation changes later on.
That's the only way
Um,
that I can see it working.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because otherwise you've got an illegitimate child, and that's a hound
With
friend,
the old
primogen
one-child
friend.
policy of PKJ, it's not going to go down well.
The only other thing is, do you
Unless
still
you're Annabelle,
have
then have however many kids you want.
you still have Crook's blood on you or something? Feed Crook's blood.
I
Not
don't
my
think it
child.
lasts that long, but also I don't think I
Yeah, no,
have.
I feel you. I feel you. Okay, if that's the case, then you're gonna need to leave very quickly
Yeah.
because we're plowing through this shit to get to you.
Yeah, you'll get a fucking hell. Yeah.
Yeah. And out of character, Joseph is very in the beast right now, and the beast cares about survival more than humanity, Golconda. So, Irene, considering you're at 1 hunger and probably more in your right mind, Joseph is a thimble of water amongst your great strength. So if he starts acting up, you can just be like, we're just going to let her go.
Yeah.
So I will set
Very
that
easy
up.
for me to do. Yeah. If she's trying to run away, we've known her for a while, but that's probably for a reason.
Yeah.
This is well, we're near the end of the thing.
We
Might
came
as
up,
well
we have
do some-
no other options.
Do
So,
it, girl. Do it.
Yeah. Okay.
or you can just let her go and we can work this out another way. We don't need the blue serpent to do this.
Yeah, but
But
as
it's
a
not
like
gonna help.
I'm just
out
setting
of character,
as a-
I full
yeah.
on know that we could probably do this, but V has been like her entire like life,
Time in Chicago.
unlife. Her entire unlife has been dedicated to stopping the global Second Inquisition.
Hmm.
This is very much like if she knows how big this player is,
Oh, okay.
it very much would be a character thing because I know we could
Oh,
definitely do
okay.
Blacksite.
Right.
probably without this information, but it does feel like it would be in character.
Okay.
for
Yeah.
her
No.
to
Go for it. For sure. For sure. For
Do
sure.
something incredibly stupid to get the
Yeah.
information. She
Yep. We make sacrifices.
Thank God for celerity thoughts. You're not done yet. Joseph.
Eat your
Like
fucking
this.
juice.
The bread.
Fuck. So sorry.
Bye.
There's a thin switch that
That's
turns
the
on the
most
camera and turns it
powerful
off.
obfuscate I've ever seen.
I'm done.
Grabbing this dead body, holding her down, and getting out my phone. uh,
Screaming and crying.
Crying and screaming.
I can hear
Okay.
you.
My audio,
Well, we can hear you.
my audio must have missed itself. I have fixed it now. Okay.
Okay, good.
Thank you for pointing that out, everybody. Appreciate it. So, as I was describing, basically, V is kneeling over the Blue Serpent, and during the process, they are spitting out the blood and then take it down into their system as it's addictive the first time, always the first time. And they have their hand that, as they're sort of drinking it, sort of almost seizes up and grabs onto your shoulder before it just lets loose, falls to the ground. They cock their head to the side and die during the process, V. Now, as you have sired someone
Yep.
in the process,
Bring on the stains.
You're gonna
Yeah,
take-
here they come.
I believe the humanity system, that's 2 stains.
Okay.
Turn someone.
It is second
Yeah.
Inquisition.
Like,
Oh,
the
they can
second Inquisition
justify it.
modifier. Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't mean it
Embracing-
doesn't go.
Embracing a mortal is
Against
2
the rules.
stains.
Yeah.
That's
Look, we
all
were
it
gonna-
is.
It was a downward humanity spiral anyway.
Yeah.
And
oh,
it's
is it?
at this moment where you stop.
Holding her.
Yeah. They sort of, their head is lolled up against your elbow. They're just completely pale. The veins have sort of emptied out almost. And that's where you sort of observe. I'll get an intelligence technology check from you, actually. Just as, Irene, you rip and pull the last of the boulders just out of the way.
The faint calling of Joseph and Irene getting closer and closer as she perishes.
2 successes.
2
Intelligence
successes.
technology.
With the time that it takes, you can see that there's something different about this sort of suit that she's wearing compared to the others. It's a bit more bulky for some reason, as you noticed earlier, but not sure why. Can't quite figure out exactly what it is.
Oh, no.
This is when the light, the outside floodgates sort of light their way through as Irene pulls this big beam off of the tank, revealing her and Joseph just out there. You both see
No.
this. Oh, sorry. You were going to say something, B?
No, that's what she says. Is no. I've killed her. You
Good.
guys need to go.
Yes, we do need to go.
No,
Yeah.
you
Have your
guys need to go. Oh, can you chuck it here?
He'll walk over and give you
No.
the handle.
I've got some business to take care of.
Are you okay?
She's dead.
Yeah.
We can go now.
You
Bring her. We can take her to Vasco.
No. I've got an idea. I'll take the tunnels home. You guys, get yourself some food. Look after yourselves. I'll see you guys later. She's not actually talking to you. She's still looking
Yeah.
inside, trying to like covering this body.
We'll
And
talk
then-
about this later.
Yeah, we'll talk
Yes.
about this later.
Can
Okay.
I see her suit from here? Because I'm interested.
Sure. And intelligence technology, please.
Right. Good at
Is there-
intelligence, but that's it.
Is there any
Actually,
type of
Sorry to interrupt
Insight.
you, Beck. You can replace medicine if you wish as well. But it will give
Ooh,
you a different
okay.
answer.
Yeah,
It'll give you a
I
different
had a
answer.
feeling.
Irene? Go
I
ahead.
was just going to ask if there's any kind of insight check I can do on
Oh,
B.
you don't want to know. But
Sure.
okay.
Let's get a wits insight and a manipulation subterfuge.
I'm not
please.
terrible at that.
I
Not
got
great at it.
4 on my
Four.
medicine.
Medicine. She is pumped up on something. Whatever it is, she's very her veins are odd colored and they shouldn't be that particular color. Any known drug that you can think of, especially in Chicago, doesn't do this. Whatever it is, and it's made her eyes go blood red and stuff like
How
that.
much does this resemble lichen stuff?
Not at all. Actually,
Not at all.
lichen would have a
Interesting.
different effect. This is not
Yeah.
lycanthropy or lichen
Thank
blood.
fuck.
Well, that's something at least.
Mm.
Yeah, I haven't decided.
Yeah, whatever it is, this isn't lichen based. Whatever she dosed herself.
Yeah, I know. Joseph, you need to go.
Why?
I will text you later. Please just trust me for this one.
How many successes, V?
I got 5. She beats me.
Irene, from the way that
I roused
she's
in everything.
angled, you know exactly what's going on here. Whether you
Uh,
want to bring it up
I know
or not
you
is up
wipe
to
it
you.
from your memory.
yeah, V, when you say trust me on this, he turns around and just leaves.
B. Before I go,
Mm-hmm.
I would have done the same if it were me. And then I'll walk away.
The two of you walk your way through this section. I imagine this is going to be a difficult spot. It's because a lot of things have happened here,
Mm-hmm.
and you
Yes.
can hear the distant sirens that are on their way.
Got it.
How is there anything you'd like to do, or you like to just leave it as it is?
Nosferatu Ash, so there's no
Gone.
kindred.
It's
stuff
mainly
here.
the bodies in the
Oh,
way
you still
that
got the
they've
helmet thing,
been-
don't you? Did you get the helmet thing?
Oh
Crushed
yes,
one of them.
I think it was no, it was burnt. Like he flamethrowed that shit to hell. There would
Okay.
be no helmet left, I imagine.
The part
Um,
that Irene had, as well as in the rubble somewhere, would take forever to try and find it.
Cool.
Yeah. As long as there's no kindred stuff, because Nosferatu is ash mixed in with the sand, that's fine. People who have been fed on you only bit, you didn't quite rip, did you?
I brutal feeded.
Brutal feed is a mix. So brutal feed is when you let your beast take control. You bite and you actually tear into them while you're doing it. It's quite visceral.
That's a tough one to cover up.
Yeah, you don't happen to
Because you
have.
did that twice.
You don't happen to have ashes. I think it's called ashes to ashes.
It's ashes to ashes, and we don't. Okay.
What you can do is spend a few minutes grabbing the bodies and throwing them into the ball of flame that is in the pit at the moment, if you'd like.
There is a full flame.
Yeah, it would probably be that.
Okay.
Him using his senses to be like that.
Me grabbing like 3 bodies at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't take too much
Chucking them in.
time, only a few minutes, maybe about a minute before you toss all these bodies
Yeah.
into the fire, let them burn. The horrid smell flies into the air, and you retreat
Mhm.
back to the car.
To the car.
Meanwhile, V, you're alone with what's
Yeah.
left of the blue serpent.
Your daughter.
Can I see any manholes or something? I'd like to go through the labyrinth to take her out of here.
You'd have to go back to the main street. There's none in here.
We'll stealthily go back to the main street,
Mhm.
I'd say.
Technically, she's dead, so she's an object. So, so the
Yeah.
escape works on her.
Not exactly.
I know.
Yeah, so just make a dexterity stealth check. Considering that the gunfire has happened, it's very unlikely there would be any people around nearby. Nobody sticks
Yeah.
around to find out what happens.
And I've got Silence of Death in there just for funsies.
Indeed.
Yep.
Irene and Joseph, where are you going? Or is there any discussion between you two?
I'm very hungry.
Hmm.
How would you like to take care of that then?
I think he's gonna find, because it's so cold at the moment, people aren't really out. So I think it's kind of like slowly down streets, like a prowling. And if there's like someone out, if there's 2 people even, that's better because Irene's there as well. And it will be some kind of feeding check, I assume, that he's just going to get out. Try and get them so that they aren't seen properly, feed, and then cloud memory them.
I will get a wits streetwise
Cool.
and then a manipulation subterfuge. Oh, manipulation. Yeah, manipulation subterfuge.
Cool. Wits.
No one is around. Gunfire, collapsing buildings, everyone's gone. The fire department and the police are on their way. You slink your way through, holding this body next to you. The armor is quite weighing them down, making them quite heavy, but you manage with your strength, and your potence is activated as well. Lift up the manhole and jump down elegantly with cat's grace, holding the thing on its way down as well so that it lands properly. You're down in the sewer. You know exactly where the labyrinth is from this angle and how to get through it. Is there a particular location in the labyrinth, or you're traveling through to get to a particular location, or just somewhere lost in the labyrinth?
Well, V has gone through the labyrinth quite a lot of times,
Mhm.
so she'll know where there's like a secluded little area that the labyrinth people don't hang out at too often.
How many
'Cause-
dots in the labyrinth do you have?
I think it's 3 or
Three, yeah.
3 now.
Okay. So
Yeah.
You don't have the next one, which I think this one's
Not the church.
Or the next one? The
No,
church?
3 is the iconography.
No, 2 is the
one.
iconography. 3 is
Oh.
the church. The first one is just how to get around it.
Got
basically.
it.
Yep. So you have a choice here. There's a few locations you haven't been that you can check out, or there is the place you originally took, the ambushed
I don't want
kindred,
to take her back to Little Lamb.
a long time ago, or you can go to church because no one's probably going to be there tonight.
No one's going to be there.
Probably.
We'll hang outside of church. We'll be near church. We won't actually go into church, but we'll be near church.
Since you have dots in the labyrinth,
Rebirth
you
and all
don't,
that.
you don't need to have a check for this. You know exactly where you're going. You dodge all the different kinds of traps, the warping hallways, the strange sound that you're now actually more akin to. You can hear this wail sound that sort of echoes through some of the hallways that you didn't quite hear before, but now that Irene made that sound, yes, you know exactly what that is, but you're not sure why it's here.
Yeah, and at first when she heard it, it was like concerning and stuff. But after Irene's kind of done it, she's a lot more chill with the sound, and it's oddly calming. She like knows what she's doing, and she gets a calming vibe from it.
Yeah. After some time, you find yourself in a section of the labyrinth that's just between the docks and the hive. It's sort of not quite, because Gangrel territory is a bit further north. I'll have to double check whose territory exactly this is, but you find yourself there
Ugh.
in an empty section.
Well, as long as it's not Malkavian territory, I should be fine.
Malkavian territory is like the L. You don't have anything to worry about there. And
Yeah, I'll just put it down.
you set them down. They're still quite pale. There's still a lifelessness in their eyes.
Tie them up.
Good point. Vay's gonna rip the arms off of her hoodie to tie her up because she doesn't have anything else at this point.
All right, I'll get a wits and craft.
Yes,
Let's go.
And
wits it is.
I was correct. This is in Gangrel territory.
Okay.
She'll be right.
Sure.
2, from what you've seen her do and how she's trained, you're not very confident in this, but then again, it's the best you kind of have in this sort of scenario. And you don't want to leave her for a moment to duck up to church to grab something.
Oh, no. Nah, I'm watching her the entire time.
So you do the best that you can.
Just be adjusting my camera while I'm waiting. Moving the explosive rounds that I've still got on me to like this. No, I'll hide it behind a rock or something.
Can you get some Ishtar's touch going, or do you still have some on you?
You've got
I gave it to you. We never used. Oh no, we did use it on what's his face.
No, I made a new one for what's his face for Gerard.
Gerard. Well, I don't have it. So
You
if you
have
made
it?
a new one, you have it because I gave it to you.
Like,
I only had one. Whatever new one you made, you kept on yourself.
No, I've only made the 2, so you've got one.
And I gave it to you.
You gave it to me. Oh, okay. Well,
So I don't actually think you made a new one. I think I just gave it to you.
Okay, well, I can take. I don't have drugs though. That's the issue. I need
True.
narcotics for it.
All right, maybe not then. Double check. She's pumped up on shit. See what she's got in this little suit of.
Oh
If you
yeah, I'll
wanna
pat her
start-
down. I'll go through the suit.
Would you like to
Yeah.
like take apart the
Yeah.
because there's the armor sort of suit, and then there's these sort of thermals underneath that she's wearing. And as you start to pick apart this thing, you realize how intricate it is and how it works. There's actually a motherboard attached underneath the chest to this thing,
What?
and has these wires and pumps that make their way through, and they're connected to looks like sensory pads from the finger pads, and they seem to do something when they sort of flick and hit the edge of the hand in a way. You're not sure what because it's currently deactivated. But there's these needles going into the arm directly from that particular section. And then they also go into this part just on her back where it has this multiple small vials of what look like blood. A few of them have shattered, but most of them are all there. And they go to different parts of the body, down to the legs, to the chest, up to the shoulders, to the neck, all around.
Is she ghouling herself? What the fuck is this?
And
Yeah, I'm gonna take it apart as neatly as possible without destroying anything, so I can send it off to the right people. Oh yeah, I'll take some. For not of the face, like very much hand over face.
Oh, not hand over face. Come on.
Strategic. Some photos will be hand over face. The others will be strategically positioned. But like neck shots, you can't not have.
Yeah, I mean, you could just wrap her head in like a t-shirt or something. She's dead.
I'm not stripping down anyone.
Your choice between resolve medicine or resolve technology.
Technology.
In the meantime, Joseph, how many successes have you got?
I got 4 and 4 for my streetwise, and then for my manipulation.
How hungry are you?
I'm at 5.
Okay, make a hunger frenzy check for me, please.
Yeehwa! I used a decent amount of willpower. so this is
Irene,
gonna
how are you
be
spending your time while Joseph is off feeding? Meditating, perhaps, or
Probably watching him. He'd ask you to come along, I think.
You want to watch you feed? Who do you think I am?
I need you to.
Your mom?
I like you
Think
soon.
she's Eric though?
That is 3 successes.
3 successes? I believe at 5 successes, that's actually a failure. Yes, because you need 4 successes
Ooh.
on that one. So you are going to
Yeah.
Good
fly
thing I'm here.
into a hunger frenzy.
This is why you need to watch.
Yeah.
Irene, as he's beginning to tear into people, I don't think you need to make a contested roll because it's kind of a waste of
No.
time. Irene, how would you like to do it?
Pull.
I'll just pull him off, probably go in and close the wound myself.
Mm.
And yeah, just let the person after he's taken a little bit, so they're like strategically out of it a little bit, I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah.
Then she would pull him off. And she's only on 1 hunger at the moment, so she'd bite into her wrist and put it to Joseph, and he can write out his frenzy on my blood.
Okay. So,
Delicious.
Joseph, you only get 2 points. 1 point from the human, and then you get 1 from Irene, so 2 in total.
Down to 3.
Mm.
Ooh, how many months is this?
Actually, make it down to 2.
Once you
Go
find
figure.
your
Hmm.
you have the chance to
There's
do
an
so.
equilibrium. Yeah. Like as you feed it to him, probably that cool oblivion kind of flows through him a
Mm.
little bit. And he, yeah, very much that anger that was brewing at his 5 hunger just tips ever so slightly in the beast's favor. And then when you feed it, it ticks back.
Mm.
And then he just takes a very deep breath that he doesn't need. And
Part their memory.
yeah, he just points and just says, forget.
They both
You okay?
wander off.
Much better. Thank you for coming along.
No problem.
It's a negotiation, so sometimes I don't always win.
You know what? Fair enough.
The amount of wounds on him is also real bad.
In the
Are you
mean,
actually okay? Sorry.
no, you're fine. Go ahead.
I feel entirely useless as usual when it comes to fights, but
You weren't.
thank you for that. But why? I can't quite remember why we left V. She said to trust her. If the blue serpent's dead, what is she going to do? There's nothing that she can do that I don't know about that she could possibly be doing with the body that we couldn't do together.
Joseph,
Irene.
in the situations we find ourselves in the positions we find ourselves in, how good are you at fortifying your mind against people who want to know things that you know?
I'm not very good at it. I do have a decent amount of ability to not allow people to control me. I have enough mental fortitude, nothing of a discipline level. People aren't often peeking into my mind, however.
But
My front of honesty makes it very difficult for people to think I'm hiding anything.
all I'm saying is that V's done something, and if somebody finds that out from you, then that's going to be very bad for her.
So nothing's changed.
No, not really. but the situation is still as it is, and it's safer for you not to know than for you to know. Depends how much your curiosity balances out with your affinity for being controlled by other people. Because
You've
you do
seen
have an
it.
affinity for it.
In action. You've been by my side in every situation where that control has been flexed and used. You have known that I have known of what Felix did, of what V did. I am aware of things, and if my position as Primogen is getting in the way of my ability to be trusted,
I'm not saying that I don't trust you. I'm just in a position here where I need to protect both of you at once. And to be honest, I don't feel extraordinarily comfortable giving away V's secrets when she clearly didn't feel comfortable enough to tell them to us.
yes, which is
When
why
she
I'm
was-
not. I just want to understand what she was doing, because I know what she can do. But if it's something that we need to trust her with, then I will trust her with it. Just curious. And I wasn't
was-
exactly in my right mind.
That's fair enough. It is not something we should talk about without her present.
Of course.
And it is something we need to trust her with for the time being.
I will remind you as well, that ring protects you from domination. It does
I
not
know.
protect you from Auspex. Shall we find out whether you can keep a secret from mental prying?
You can certainly try, Joseph. I have other ways of counteracting those kinds of things. But try, please.
I'm not going to. It is more a reminder, equally so, that both of us are at danger at all times, and I would hate to see you suffer alone with this weight.
It doesn't feel like a burden to me. Nobody has ever found anything out about what I know, and nobody ever will.
I think I've done a pretty good job. And he's going to slowly head back to the car. I look forward to learning more. But thank you.
As the other two, the moment they turn the keys, kickstart the car. V, how many successes did you get?
Right. That
Was
was
it medicine or was it
4.
technology?
It was technology because I don't have medicine. It was
Yep.
4.
You try your best to figure out how this sort of works, and actually, as you do so, you manage to probably accidentally at first press one of these buttons on this thing that actually retracts the needles from the hands.
Fuck.
And you go, oh, okay.
Oh, no, that's good.
And then start
That's not
pressing
bad.
the
Okay.
others that retract all the needles that drip blood from them. And it is, as you fully remove this suit and sort of observe it, she's just in boots and her thermals that keep her warm underneath, but still quite flexible. Her chest lurches up, her neck arches. She takes this big breath, even though she doesn't need to, and turns over to her side, coughing deeply. And you can see those veins have actually returned in this moment. She's got these permanent veins across. Her veins have darkened and her eyes are permanently bloodshot as she sort of turns, coughs. She doesn't stop. She just continues to lurch and cough, very deep coughing in the process.
Sorry, just remembered that, yeah, you always look like the moment your turn, so she's going to look
She's going to look like
fucked
shit.
and whole.
Yeah. Hey. Hello.
It's
You good?
a few moments before she sort of turns over, gets up on all fours.
That's it. Try and retighten it. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah,
Just
she
hold her
just
hands.
It's
rips it quite
Just-
easily. But she's still shot. She's still injured, as are you. The two of you are still both very, very badly
Oh,
injured.
yeah.
So it takes almost all of her energy to get up on all fours and then lean back over. She clutches her side. It stopped bleeding, She just has a quick look around her surroundings before she looks at you. Her two sort of emerald green eyes that shine out behind a wall of red blood.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to run around it here. It's easy to get lost.
She doesn't speak.
I think an introduction is necessary because, yeah, I'm V, and you are
Her lips don't move.
really annoying. Okay. You might feel different. God, I was really never planning on having this fucking speech. You're not human anymore. You're no longer Second Inquisition. You're no longer whatever the fuck this juice is being pumping into you is.
She looks at you, she looks at the suit, and she looks back at you. Lips don't move.
The more you're quiet, you could be quiet for fucking eternity if you wish. But that's not going to get you anywhere.
She raises her right hand and does some short gestures. And does V understand sign language?
Oh. Like, I don't have a dot in it, but she would have, like, not understand it fully, but she would have been around it for a bit during some of her documentaries because she especially did some.
Yeah. Okay, so
I can make a roll if you want, or I can just.
And Cryptolect might help.
It
a little
doesn't,
bit.
I'm afraid, in this
Absolutely
scenario.
does
We
not.
made our own one.
Yeah, true.
So what's insight?
Okay.
She does it so quickly and with such proficiency that it's hard to keep up.
Oh, you don't have a tongue? We have one at the Chantry. Come with me.
So we're on.
Stop trying to give the tongue away to somebody.
4 successes.
Chantry got your
4
tongue.
successes. Whatever she said wasn't very nice, is what I'll say, is what you can basically understand.
Oh, everyone knows that sign language.
Like, fuck yeah.
It was a lot more elegant than that.
Yeah. Ah, okay. Huh. There's probably no signal down in the fucking labyrinth of mazes and horror, so I'm not gonna try and look up things on the internet. But I do have my notebook on me.
Yeah, notebook.
I was like, just hand her the notebook and my pen. How about we try with that for now? You can write fuck off if you would like, but again, it's not going to help you.
A super quick note, just in case she makes a mad dash for it, you should definitely detail to her that if she leaves away from you, she's as good as dead. Just in case she's like, fuck you, bro, I'm out. We're just in a weird corridor.
Oh yeah, I will reiterate, if you run away, it is a bad idea. Not because I will come and catch you. No, this is, like, quite frankly, I wouldn't follow you because you would be walking for days on end. And without knowing this place, you could end up upside down in corridors or going in the same room 50 million times until it drives you kind of crazy. Or even worse, you can step in the wrong puddle and something might grab your legs and pull you down under. This is not the world that you are from. There's no technology down here. There's something darker, something you don't mess with, something I don't mess with, and you shouldn't try.
The simple message that you get returned in bold capital letters or scratched hastily simply reads, "Kill me or let me go," when she turns it around and shows you.
Maybe if you're lucky, I'll kill you.
She lets the pad just drop to the side. Just watches you quietly.
I'd like some information. just a little bit of information in this eternity of being undead, being the thing that you wanted to destroy, I'm assuming. Though I don't know, you've started to pump shit into you. I've got no idea what you're trying to do. But you give me that information, you get to leave it all behind. You get to pass on, do whatever it is proper dead people do.
She doesn't move. Just stares at you.
I can sit here for hours. The sun doesn't come down here. We could just be here for ever and ever, eternity. Get used to this face. You'll see it a lot. We'll have lots of chats. It will be great.
Just a manipulation intimidation, please.
I love it.
Trying to intimidate her with the idea
Against
of being
her
bored to
composure
death.
resolve.
Channel your inner Joseph. You're stuck with me, and they're like, "Oh God."
I can explain to you the intricacies of how
I'm gonna get my
how a
friends
camera
down
works.
here, and you're not gonna want that.
It was intimidation, right? Yeah.
Manipulation, intimidation.
What's that? I'm only on 1 hunger. I'll rouse. Why not? Two successes.
She almost comfortably sort of settles herself in slightly more and just looks at you, raises her eyebrows as if to challenge you.
Okay. I'll sit down. Start adjusting my camera again. I got all the time in the world.
Did you pick up Taste for Blood?
No, I didn't.
Oh. You could start going through each little vial, like. That'd be so cool.
Okay. Here's the question, V. How long are you willing to wait?
Years.
What time is it?
It's still fairly early. It would be about 1 a.m. So it's a couple of hours before you have to go to day sleep.
A suggestion. Being a Bana Hakim, she doesn't get ore specs. You can just like, I'm going for a walk to leave you to your own devices. Walk out,
Just stay
obfuscate,
still.
come back in, and just to monitor her so that she doesn't leave or anything. And in case she does something, I would probably do something about the needles so that she can't put that back on. But yeah, I think if you obfuscate as if you've left, her being on her own might affect things and her be like, oh God, what am I? Instead of like, you've given her something to work against, which is you. So remove that from the circumstance and it's just her. And then you can be like, I'm back.
Yeah, I might wait an hour or so.
Yeah.
And also pretend that time is going by a lot faster than it is. Like, oh shit, look, it's already daytime. And saying stuff while looking at her phone. Going, you still wanna just hang? Like, I'm loving this quality time. We're getting a lot of quality time. We're bonding. It's great.
It's tough. It's like talking to a brick wall. She's sitting there. She's actually closed her eyes, almost like she's entered a meditative state, simply waiting and listening. You can tell every time you sort of shift your weight, her head twitches slightly. She's actually listening very carefully, just in case you make any sort of moves. Surprisingly alert for how relaxed she is. She is, you can tell she's trained for these sorts of things, to resist torture, to resist capture and such like that. So
the only other option is to extinguish.
I was looking at that.
And
but
then get
we
all the
will-
little vials out, line them up in a little line. We're gonna play a little game.
Oh my God,
I'm gonna
that's so
introduce you
sadistic.
to the beast, as a good parent should.
you
That
probably
did cross my mind.
want to come back a bit healthier
Yeah, I don't
first,
want
though. You don't want to get Diablerized.
to.
True.
Yeah,
And if
no.
there's any way to figure out whether she is a thin blood or a full vampire.
We'll have to wait for.
Yeah,
I'll
we have
bring
to
you a
wait.
pint of her blood, I
You
guess.
can figure,
Yeah.
you can figure it
Delicious.
out by how she heals as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Rip her
Invalids
arm off or something.
can only heal at a human's rate.
Yeah. No, they can heal at a vampire's rate. They take damage though as a human's rate,
Sorry, I
unless
got that
they've got that
reversed then.
special. Nah, it's all good. It's thin blood.
Someone's
They're
been doing
complicated
research
shit.
into it, so
In case I made a child. No. Yeah, I'll try Jack's idea. I'm gonna grab some stuff. Okay, if you don't want to chat, that's fine. I'm just gonna grab this stuff because it looks fancy and I'll just take it. I'll shove it in pockets and stuff and carry the other bits of it. I'm just gonna head out, enjoy the zombies, and I'll fuck off. And then I will turn invisible after a while and get slightly hungrier, but that's fine.
just come straight back into the room.
Yeah, and then invisibly just walk back and go, okay.
As you take all the blood, you look for any kind of reaction. None whatsoever. She's resolute. She just listens. And then you leave. She seems to wait for some time. And during this time, Irene and Joseph, where are you both heading?
What do we want to do? I think he's just driving probably closer to home. We need to come up with a plan of attack.
I think the first thing to do is to tell Hurricane that we dealt with the situation. And the
Very true.
Anox on side, if we can.
I did take some video footage while there to hopefully get the public nice and riled up. So we could probably drop by.
The building is demolished now as well.
Yes, so having evidence that led up to that destruction.
It makes
will
the
be
mystery even more interesting, given the
easier
fact
for
that
people to follow the journey towards a destroyed building instead of asking questions.
Yes.
So we might stop by Gabriella's first, and she will have a contact Hurricane.
Sounds good. Since we can't get in contact with V at the moment, that's
Hmm.
the next best thing.
Well, we can. We just can't talk about certain things.
That's very true. Yes.
Out of character, you do have a meeting with Catherine at some stage.
True.
Oh yeah. Forgot.
I'm going to text V. I trust you. Send. Please send me the contact details of Hurricane and Catherine. I'm pretty sure Joseph does have them. I think he just wants confirmation on their numbers and to be like, we can still communicate to V.
Yeah.
Everything
She has
okay.
her phone on silent. She'll send you the details. And just with this may take longer than I was first anticipating, but it'll be fine.
I can assist if you need. And then good luck. V might be taking some time with no problem.
That's fine.
I'm gonna wait till we get to Gabriella's because I'm not going to be on the phone and drive in these conditions.
Understandable. I will wait in the car and
Yep.
keep a lookout, even though it doesn't matter too much.
Very important. We don't want to be followed by another pack of hungry knockers. Yeah, he'll call Hurricane. Basically, I guess to save time, just be like, "We did it. I have some evidence. You need to go through Gabriella if you want to see it. Let people know we're going to draw up a plan. If you have information that may, or like preference, I don't know. He'll just be like, we're going to make a plan soon. So get the Anarchs ready and riled up because the kind population, it's going to be embarrassing if the Kindred aren't fighting as hard as the kind. Going to see Gabriella, send her the file of that video of him just being like, why is there so many high-powered guns here in the street? This basketball court should be for the kids. What the heck? a tank ramming through a wall, just like, oh my god, and then video cutting out. If this is safe to send, Gabriella, please put it out there, get it into the hands of the humans who are going to not like to see it. And make sure it does go by the ghouls of certain kindred in the Camarilla. Because she would know like who the old dudes communicate with.
As a hound, she has contact with everybody in the Camarilla and knows how to get in contact with them.
Yeah, it would just be like, make sure people see this because this is Second Inquisition number 2 that our group single-handedly has dealt with.
Sure.
Because the first was the porn store.
Yeah, but we did one before then as well.
Oh, the one in the middle of the city, we
Arachne.
didn't fully shut down, did we?
No,
we demolished
killed
the
everyone
building.
inside.
We
yeah,
did,
and just
true.
demolished the building.
Yeah, this is the third Second Inquisition base that we have torn apart. And I want people to know that and be ready because I'm going to be talking to the prince about some kind of meeting. Thanks, Gabriella.
Easy
How's
enough.
Halo? Good job. And then leave.
Good luck
Irene,
with your games.
Yeah.
anything you'd like to do?
I don't know, I guess just once Joseph comes back, my people at the church have probably found all that they can at this point about the location and the geography of Black Site 24. They were the ones who sent the pictures, so I don't think we need to worry too much about getting any more from them.
No.
We did want to speak to Catherine, did we not, about...
Yes, we have a meeting with Catherine in a few hours, I think, or very soon, actually.
Was that at our haven? Or did she want to meet somewhere else?
I believe it was at our haven. We were going to go over a bunch of First Light tech. So, yeah, he'll start heading back to the haven and say talk. We have some more information as well that she could use or explain.
Yes. Well, hopefully. And hopefully Hurricane gets in contact with us soon too. So
Yes.
we can get more people inside. And then it's just a matter of talking with the
Removing one
Camarilla.
AK, getting Camarilla and the Anarchs ready. We need to get this plan. This plan needs to be solid. I'm thinking a kind of sections of attack that are not assigned to anyone in particular. And we set a series of plans of actions with blank fillers of who will do what job. We send this blank plan, some to the Anarchs, some to the Camarilla. And when we get them back, we correlate, see who is willing to do what. And then when the plan is set, all the positions filled, I want to get them together before.
No.
Just the prince, maybe just Anita. I don't want all of them together. But I think the leaders of this front need to communicate because communication through people is open to... It's open to being misconstrued.
That can break the entire thing because they care far more about being at each other's throats than what we've been dealing with. And getting them in a room together is going to end up with them. It's not going to end well. It's far more likely not to end well. And then everything that we've worked towards here will just be thrown away, will be blamed because we tried to get the Anarchs and the Camarilla to talk to each other, and that's not on. And what are we doing? Trying to incite violence? We'll be scapegoated for that.
And then the Second Inquisition win. The other way is we do the exact same thing, but we're not upfront about it.
And how do you suppose we do that?
I'm not sure we're making a plan right now. I just think it would be a good idea to have clear communication between the prince and Anita. Anita likes the Camarilla, and we just need the two of them to look at a finalized plan and go, okay, I can do that.
Do you think Anita's anarchs will be?
I don't know. I just think that of the people we've spoken to, she seems to be the front. Tim Roche leads a small gang amongst the anarchs. Anita represents them. It just needs somebody who's in charge of the anarchs forces to sign off on a plan. Because
More likely to
the
get Tim
other
Roche than
side,
Anita.
as long as it's someone. I need someone to look at a plan and go, my people will be there, because if we make a plan that involves people showing up and they don't show up, we die.
And you think the best way to make sure that people show up is to have these two sects working together?
No, I think working together gives us the best chance of killing the Second Inquisition.
Theoretically, you're right, but not everybody is as pragmatic, especially
I'm aware.
when their heads are so in the political game and they don't understand the threat that they're under, not properly.
No, and that's why, as much as it's taken me a very long time to admit this to myself, I may be able to manipulate them to see it better, to see it from a perspective that is more to create a common enemy, to build the humans against them, to make it so that it is you either attack the Second Inquisition with these people you don't like, or you are against Kindred altogether. I need it to be so impossible to choose not to get involved that they have
Vilify
to.
humanity.
In a way, I want to make them hate the Second Inquisition. They already do, but they don't hate it enough compared to their hatred of, as you said, this political
Destruction.
bullshit. And just there needs to be a tip of balance. They're never going to stop hating each other, but they just need to hate the Second Inquisition just a bit more, to want to be like, and this plan, when we build this plan, they need to be nowhere near each other. It needs to be, say, Camarilla to the north, Anarchs to the south, where they just deal with these things and then leave and don't see each other, so that they feel like they've done something, which they have. But it's this plan that matters.
You want to
Mm.
make an ancient Greek scenario. I understand.
Absolutely.
Well, how do you suppose you'll manipulate them to think that way then?
We've hit 3 bases so far. We have more information on the technology they're doing. Catherine has told us that they're learning how to hunt havens. That in and of itself is a motivating force. I want to find a way. 1IK is a huge thorn in the side of all of this. And before this can work immaculately, he needs to be removed.
Which is why I was questioning you about Anita, because the anarchs that seem to run under her, Genghis namely, also run with 1IK. And I think we need to find him to find 1IK somehow. And she has declared never to meet with us ever again. And by getting rid of one more of her people, she's going to be less likely to want to speak with us.
Yes. My thoughts on that are 1IK is technically an independent. No one really knows that he exists. He does fly under the Anarch banner, but that is to sow dissent.
Indeed.
You want to remove Genghis, right?
I think he needs to be.
We have a piece of evidence that will get him removed by the Anarchs themselves. He handed that list in. if we can let the Anarchs know that Genghis made and gave that list to the Camarilla, they'll do something to him. And if they don't, then Lord, I don't know what's going on over there.
And we just need to find proof of the fact that he did it.
Yes. Which all we have is Gerard, who maybe have calmed down by now.
Depends how well Annabelle's treating him, I suppose.
Yes, so I think maybe we can check in on him. We can maybe record a confession from him or something like that.
We can get one out of him. Yes.
Release him back to the Anarchs. One of the things I want to do that I haven't vocalized is I want to talk to the prince, and I'm going to get him to give up this list. If he does that, it will release tension. Not dramatically, but a piece of paper with a bunch of names on it is crumbling the city I live in. So I'm going to have it removed, or at least talk to him about it.
Good luck.
I've done enough work to build trust with him. I've handled enough problems on my own, with you all, of course, for him to... He's gone out of his way to help me. I've gone out of my way to help him. It's the least I can ask. And if he says no, then I tried, and we will find another way.
Certainly. I just fear that it's, no matter how many things you do, how many favors you do out of the own kindness of your heart, it's never going to be enough for
others.
The Prince of the Camarilla.
As I've said time and time again, it's how I respond to things. If I spend my entire life and unlife doing things out of the goodness of my heart because I want to, one day someone will do the same.
Maybe.
Or I'll show someone that you're allowed to. But in this whole stupid system, you can be kind. And I want Olivia to see that it's not just about these old people putting her into positions where she's beautiful and extravagant and talented, that she can just be herself and be confident and kind if she wants to.
It is.
Lofty goals, but I understand.
Yes, it's not normal. I know that, but it's me. And that's all I know.
As plans are being made above ground, below ground, you're obfuscated for some time, perhaps 20, 15 minutes before Blue Serpent opens their eyes, looks around carefully, and then heels over down to their side as they sort of grit their teeth, and you see the wounds on their side start to close over slowly. It's a painful process. You remember your first time as well. The first time's never pleasant. You feel it, especially those first few times, but then it fades as your feelings do as well. And after a few moments, she sort of slowly stands. She goes up onto the wall and uses it to crawl herself up. She still has quite a few bruises across her body, and the veins crawl into her eyes and give her this otherworldly look. Some sort of demonic creature has possessed her in a movie of some kind. And she... did you take the suit with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She...
kind of just carried it.
Holding it right now. Like...
She looks around, sees nothing in the room, and without even seeing you, she moves past you, sort of puts her hand up into the hallway, leans out, looks left, looks right, and actually starts making her way out through the tunnel to the labyrinth.
She's an idiot. Well, she's not, but
And it,
That's a dumb or
and it is at this scene that we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh Lord.
Lord above.
Nice work, everybody.
POV. Little lamb fights the blue serpent. Who
Oh my god, if
wins.
she kills my girlfriend, it's over.
I won't let her kill your girlfriend.
I don't think she has enough power to kill your
Yeah, your girlfriend would just like suck out her soul or some shit.
Yeah.
With the withering spirit herself.
Yeah, she'd just walk forward, touch her forehead, and just be like, Shalim, and then she'd just disintegrate.
All right. Nice work, everybody.
Woohoo.
Great session. And let's reintroduce all of you and tell us where we can find you, starting with V.
Hi, I am Phoebe. I've been playing V, the Banu Hakim that makes bad decisions, but hopefully it is for the greater good. Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Unless she just dies in the next 2 seconds, but it's fine. It is
Touch
fine.
wood. She falls into a puddle. Oop.
Surrounded by wood, that's good.
Yeah.
I am at Sherbrooke Waters on Twitch and on Twitter. You can find me on Twitch. I play murder mystery games on Mondays, and every second Tuesday I do something random. It's
Hey.
fun.
I'm Beck. I've been playing the Devil's Advocate. Also, Irene. You can find me at Zeit_Poltergeist on Twitch, where I sometimes play tabletop games and sometimes play video games, which I haven't done for a while, but I'll probably be starting back soon doing that. Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm Jack. I've been playing Joseph Martinez, House Kana, Tremere Primogen, the Princess Warlock, Seneschal of Thin Bloods, and Expectant Sire.
That'd be good.
We're getting there. I
Mm.
I don't think, therefore I amn't.
I am.
Empt. And I'm Ethan, the storyteller of these wonderful people. I'll be streaming tomorrow, so look forward to that. And that's it. We'll see you next week for more Vampire the Masquerade shenanigans. See you then.
Bye.
Where